Caleb Downs at 5. Let's trade with Pittsburgh. 10 for 21 and 76. We're sitting here at 21. Well, let's go Omar Cooper Jr. here. Then at 37, Chase Pasantis is here. Folks. We go Chase Pasantis and then we go defensive tackle. Now tell me who's left at defensive tackle.
I want my picks back, all of them. I need a pump.
You love when a plan comes together. You love when a plan comes together, baby. Big Citrus. Get on the goddamn team. Welcome to the opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange show, and welcome to Draft Week, baby. As you can tell from the cold open, we're fired up. Only a couple of days until we get to the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft, and of course, with it being the Monday of Draft Week, we got to give you guys the final big board. So Connor and I are going to go over our top 150s. I have not seen Connor's final rankings. He has not seen mine. We've got round grades, round projections, and everything in between. Buddy, happy draft week to you.
Happy draft week. I'm doing great, man. Woke up with a little extra pep in the step today. Feeling good.
You hit the NFL group chat, NFLC group chat early this morning, all caps.
Ready to roll. Slept well enough or enough. Feeling good. I was like, let's go, fellas. The week is here. Top 150s today. People in the chat are like, I died.
Whoa, what happened? What do you mean? Oh, because
I wasn't on the last show, the emergency show. Great job, fellas, from the both of you. I'll tell you what I was doing while trying to watch you guys from afar. I was just the human pack mule for my wife's baby shower. Drove out to Long Island.
Hold on, it's your baby shower too.
It's really not, though. It's my baby, but the shower does not have much. You learn really quickly. You show up, the girls are having a great time, which is awesome. They deserve it. And you say hellos, you know, they pack you, they make you a little plate, and then you get right to work. You're putting things in the truck called the pack and play. Somebody made a diaper cake. You're just a human pack mule. They just strap, once again, back to Hodor, like Bran strapped to Hodor. They just start putting stuff on you, and you just walk to the car, and you drive it back. That's it.
Did you say a diaper cake?
Yeah, they made like a cake shaped out of diapers.
No, I can't.
I'm gonna go get. Don't make me go get it.
No, don't go get it. I could. You wouldn't catch me dead. I can't do it.
Oh, your time will arrive.
I can't do a diaper cake.
And then I really killed the mood because they open the gifts, they hold up the clothes, and it was like set of Jets onesies, and I'm like, ugh. And it's like set of Mets onesies. I'm like, they've lost 11 in a row. I'm like, give the kid a chance. Give him a chance. And all the women are like laughing, but also looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? And I mean,
they're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
I'm the joke once again. So, anyways, great time was had by all. Good show, fellas. I'm happy to be back in the chair.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate it. Had a lot of fun with that one for everybody who joined for the spontaneous emergency episode when Dexter Lawrence got traded for the number 10 overall pick, which is pretty wild. We'll talk about that, and I'll get you more of your thoughts on that in depth when we go through our final mock drafts that we will do on Wednesday, as is tradition around here. But dude, actually, I'm going to say this at the very top of the show. So we're on the campaign to 75,000 subscribers here on the program. We got a huge influx of new subscribers because of that emergency episode. So a lot of people, they were looking for Dexter Lawrence and New York Giants analysis, and they decided that they wanted to stick around a little bit. So anybody who subscribed to the show a couple of days ago and is back for this live stream, we appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the Addicts. We love you guys. And anybody who is not subscribed to the show, we would love for you to be a part of it. Come back, hang out with us every single time, because we're going to have a lot of fun just like we are here on this show. I won't say how many thousand subscribers we have, because you guys are going to yell at me if we do.
We're almost to 68,000.
We're almost to 68,000. I think it's on you guys, because if we're, you know what? I'm going to give you an ultimatum, or I'm going to call it a threat. If we don't have 68,000 subscribers by the time the Wednesday show rolls around, guess what's going to happen, guys? Guess what's going to happen?
No more show. Canceled.
those two numbers are going to be said back to back, and it's going to be you guys' fault. So you better tell your family, you better tell your friends, you better take your relatives' phones and subscribe, create a YouTube account and subscribe to the channel on their phone, or there's going to be a price to pay on Wednesday. Landon said new subscriber, hand up emoji. What's up, Landon? Glad to have you as part of the
welcome, Landon.
We got a lot of things that we got to get through, so let's dig into it really quickly.
Okay.
Let's get right to it here at the top of the show. Top 150s. So Tyler, the chef, tried to pack as much as he could on every screen because you're going to see our big boards back to back. So the way that we're going about this is we're going to do it in increments of 20, going from 150 and then down all the way to number 1. But when we get to the top 50, we'll do them in increments of 10 because we'll spend a little bit more time on those guys and have a good conversation here. So let's go. Connor, your 150
hit the music
to 131 here. So we've got these round cutoffs that you guys will see where some of the round 5 grade start, round 4 grade start. So the chef's doing a really great job. You can already tell that he's cooking with hot oil here with the graphics that we have. But you don't have to go through every single player, but just kind of like walk through some of the guys that might be the standouts here for your 150 to 131.
Man, it's a fascinating group how many decent players are packed into that 3rd to 4th round range in this draft. And a lot of that is the lingering effects of, the final COVID year and NIL and the transfer portal and the effect on player development, maybe not for the guys in the top 30 picks, but the guys in the middle of the draft. Like DeMonte Capehart, I'm looking at right there. 6-year player at Clemson. Really solid rotational. I think he was a 5-star, but he just turned into a really good rotational nose tackle that plays with power, strength, that size. He's not going to give you a ton of snaps, but the snaps he gives you are going to be really, really important in the middle of your front. You look at, obviously, Drew Aller's probably a name that pops to people. I get it, man.
Where do you have Aller?
137.
Dude, I'm like the same thing, man. I'm kind of the same.
Right. You just kind of, and I would imagine he's higher on consensus board, but
probably. Ooh, yeah. Let me check Arif's consensus board.
So, what it is with Aller is it's just like the longer time went on, he just didn't develop into that natural passer that you wanted him to be, despite being big, having arm strength, some tough downhill running. He's a gamer, but the natural rhythm throwing, to me, especially in the bigger games, just that green light never fully turned on, where I'm probably on the lower end with Drew Aller and the lower end of this quarterback class as a whole. I will say Devin Moore at the top at 131. I know you've praised him a bit, Trevor. He's somebody that if he ended up being a much better player than 131, I would not be surprised. He's just been banged up a couple
he's had
of years.
A lot of injuries.
He's had a lot of different injuries, but he's got size, ball skills. This was a really good year at Florida for him, but this was really the year. So you just hope he could stay on the field. You see Rolder down there at 149. Like, he's a 2-down linebacker and a very effective one. Good key, way to, reads his keys against the run, fits gaps, understands rush development and how to take on blockers or work around them. Maybe a little bit more limited. I don't think he's ever going to be this 3-down star or anything. And Jack Kelly has a little bit of the same. Okay, let me get to one more, and then I want to show yours, because this was the guy the last 2 weeks when I've been really in the weeds on non-combine guys, trying to find a couple that pop. This guy maybe popped the most or one of the most. That's Renee Conga from Louisville.
Dude, I did not watch him, and you got him top 150.
I'll pull up my notes. There's always a couple where I'm like, what? Just how did this guy not get a combine invite? That's such a low bar to clear. Was at Rutgers, ends up at Louisville, 5th-year senior, almost 6'4", 298, almost 34-inch arms, 37-inch vertical, 703 3-cone. Sometimes I run the 3 cones at pro days just to see who really popped for their weight. I mean, 703 at almost 300 pounds. What's going on here? I mean, he had almoot a 15% pass rush win rate this year for interior guys. That was 93rd percentile. He's explosive. He's twitchy. He's a gap shooter. It matches the testing. And I know people see Grayson Halton there, another gap shooting defensive tackle at 148. I just thought Conga was every bit as good as Grayson Halton to me at
Wow.
that rotational, Sala scheme, Seattle a little bit, Niners, Houston. You're not going to be playing a ton of snaps, but like you're going to pin your ears back and get off the ball and try to shoot gaps.
Heavy rotation, attacking style. Yeah.
Conga, I was pleasantly surprised, man.
So obviously I think the two that people have sort of like shouted out here, Grayson Halton's one of them. And we talked a little bit about Grayson Halton because he wasn't in our top 10 defensive tackles. I have him higher on my ranking. I have him just inside my top 20. I think he's in the 90s, like right around like 90. So I have him higher, but I'm lower on him than I feel like a lot of other people are. So you got him at 150. I imagine the conversation that we'll have is a little bit of the same, where he's just that sort of one gap penetrating, like attacking downhill player. I just love the motor from him. So I think that I just really want to trust that, because on the defensive line, I feel like that's pretty valuable. But I can understand the concerns of probably why you have him right there as the beginning of your 5th round grades at 148.
Yeah, and maybe I've skewed too far the other way. Like I think of I had Michael Hall easily in my top 100, higher than that, and guys like that, and you fall for it, and then you realize the room for error for guys like that at the next level is just the margins are so thin because it's such a big physical league, and Halton could easily outperform this projection, but maybe I just course corrected too much or just right. The chat has already named Renee Donga, so that's good. We're off to a roaring start.
Is it good?
No, it had to be acknowledged, though.
Did it have to be acknowledged?
No, it didn't have to be acknowledged.
Okay, let's show my 150 to 131, because I think there is a lot of similarities here. I have a little bit higher of a cut line. Your round 5 kind of starts around like 148, and to be honest with you guys, this isn't, as we get a little bit higher, I also do like late 2nd, early 3rd, late 1st, early 2nd, and we didn't break it up like that. We just broke it up into, 1st round grades, 2nd round grades, 3rd round grades, 5th round grades to be a little bit more digestible for you guys. But some players that I feel like I might be a little bit lower on than others. Jimmy Roller's about in the same spot for both of us. Yeah, I got Drew Aller 145.
That's really funny, because I think you and I are officially low men on Drew Aller.
I mean, if you want to draft Drew Aller in the 4th round, like, that's fine.
Go for it.
I don't really have a problem with it, but I just, he's got too many games under his belt for me to feel more confident than that. He does. There's just too much of that junior year when he started playing really efficiently. It felt like he wasn't throwing the ball as far deep down the field. It felt like it was a lot more, the way that it works for quarterbacks is a lot of these guys that have big arms, they'll come into college football, they'll be like, oh, I got a huge arm. And the big time throws are way up and the turnover worthy plays are both way up. So then they go, okay, well, I got to take care of the football better. So then the next year they'll have way less turnover worthy plays, but they'll also have way less big time throws. So you're not exactly getting the strengths out of these prospects either. What you need these quarterbacks to do is a lot of times after that, when it comes to that 2nd or 3rd year, okay, the big time throws go back up, the turnover worthy plays stay down. That's when you know that you've got somebody who's really figured it out. And unfortunately for Aller, it's just been a lot of both categories. Either the big time throws are high and the turnover worthy plays are high, or they're both low. And I just don't find a lot of value in quarterbacks that don't create that gap between those two numbers. Who else stands out here? I like Charles Demings from Stephen F. Austin. I got him 140. I think that this guy is somebody that's definitely worth drafting in the early rounds of day 3. I'm lower on LT Overton than I think a lot of other people are. I have him 139. I just look at him as a rotational. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
so he's somebody who I just I think he's just a rotational defensive lineman for an odd front. That's about it. He doesn't really have the skill set to play as a 5 technique in an even front, and I don't really know if he has the overall size to play 3-4 defensive line. So
big and strong, but
I just think
a lot of guys are.
He's too much of a tweener there. I feel like I'm lower on Bud Clark than a lot of other people.
Yeah, that jumps out a little bit to me. I'll tell you where I had him in a second.
I have him.
He's stuck into he's in my top 100. So
I have him 132, and I think the best of Bud Clark, I could totally see that, right? I could totally see people going like, hey, makes really big plays. I think he seems like he's a vocal leader, a leader on the back end of that TCU secondary. I love that day 3, that red zone period that he was playing when we got to see him in person at the Senior Bowl. Like, I really do like that stuff. But I felt like the up and down was too much for me. And we've said this before when we did the safety ranking episode. You're literally playing a position that is called safety. Like, you are the safety net. I need your floor to be higher than what I feel like I saw with Bud Clark over the last couple of seasons. So I think it's just that that's not really my cup of tea type of a safety. But if he goes to a team that really believes in him, puts him in a great spot, instills that confidence in him, I do think that you could still get those big plays out of him. It was just a little bit too much up and down for me. I'll shout out Evan Bernstein from Northwestern. He was an offensive tackle for them. He was an offensive guard. I think he's totally an interior offensive lineman, but I think that he's a technician. Like, I love the hand usage from him. I love the leverage that he plays with. I think he's got great footwork, a good leg drive. I think he's a center in the NFL, and actually think that he could be a starting center at some point in the league, primarily for a zone blocking scheme, if I had to say one of them. Jaden Kennedy, the cornerback, the slot corner from Oregon, is in here at 133. I think he's a pretty underrated player right now. Loved watching him when I got to see him in person at the Shrine Bowl. So really like him. I like Damone Claiborne as a speed option in this running back class, but I'm just lower on the running back class overall. And then Jeremiah Wright for the offensive guard from Auburn. If you're in a power downhill run scheme, I think that he's perfect for that. So I think that he's somebody that I'd be very comfortable with drafting somewhere on in the 4th round.
I think that wraps up this group. Before we move on to the next one, I didn't want to give away too much for future.
You have Chris McClellan at 136, and I take just absolute offense to that because I love Chris McClellan. Like, I think dude, I think I have him in the 80s in my rankings. I just think the arm length that he has, the hand size, how powerful he plays. You know, he can play as a run stuffer from a 3 technique. He could be as a 3-4 defensive end. I think he's got a lot of versatility. So I like Chris McClellan from Missouri. That's really the only one that super stands out to me. I'm lower on Bo Stevens as well. Some people talk about Bo Stevens, the offensive guard from Iowa, as like a top 100 pick. I'm with you. I'm a little bit.
That would surprise me.
Yeah, I'm lower on him. I'm sort of the same range. I think he's just outside my top 150.
I had Brian Parker a little higher than you.
Okay,
a little, nothing. I'll have to double check that. And you know what's funny? You said like McClellan for me in the 130s. You have him in the 80s. You have Jaden Kennedy in the 130s. He snuck into the 80s for me. I think he's that sticky in coverage.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those ones where like I'm way off of consensus, but you know, in this draft though, this is the draft I think to be, because
for sure.
It plateaus out.
Yes.
So, like we'll talk about the groupings earlier in the draft that are in a different category. But there are huge plateau ranges in this draft where somebody might have a player 60 spots apart, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It's that kind of draft.
You have Singleton at 143.
I have Nicholas Singleton.
Yeah, Nick Singleton.
Because I have Deshaun Singleton on there too.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you have Nicholas Singleton at 143. I have Nick Singleton outside of my top 150.
Okay.
I just think that a lot of people. I've seen some people in the fantasy community, and like, look, I'm not trying to take shots at anybody, but like I've seen some people in the fantasy community be like, you got to draft Nick Singleton, insane athlete. Like, you got to bet on a player like that. Maybe you do just bet on a player like that, but I feel like he's had way too much time as a starter for that vision to not be better than what it is. I think that he's just a track athlete who's out there kind of playing football. I just did not love the field that he had from the running back position. So, maybe he goes to Mike McDaniel and it doesn't matter. But, you know, outside of that,
you are now my high. What is the employee meme? Congratulations.
Yeah.
You've been promoted. That's Nick Singleton arriving to Mike McDaniel. You are
kinda.
now one of my most valued employees.
Valued employees. Yeah. That's true.
Whatever running back ends up on the Chargers, that's the meme for you.
So you have, I think this is a good transition into our next group, but you have Dalen Everett, the corner from Georgia, at 133. Dalen Everett on consensus, where is he?
Oh boy.
Where is Dalen Everett?
Am I about to be owned?
No, you're not, because I have him at 121.
Oh, okay.
So we're in solidarity here. Where is Everett?
108 on mock draft database is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, all right. So I thought that, man, I feel like I've seen Dalen Everett higher on
Me too.
a lot of the big boards that I have read, but I'm with you here, sort of having him in this range. I think he's got really nice overall athleticism. I think he's got good length to play press man coverage, but I think the zone instincts are really, really hit and miss for him. And I get worried in any situation that's not just straight up, hey, go play this guy in press man. And even sometimes I wish he was a little bit more competitive out there on tape when it comes to those man coverage reps. So I know that people are going to look at him and see the build, see the athleticism, and say, how could this guy be ranked where you have him ranked? But I just didn't love a lot of the feel that he had sometimes when it wasn't just straight up, okay, I'm keeping my eyes on one receiver.
All right, let's reveal the next group.
All right, let's
this
do
is
it.
111 to 130, and yes, we are working up to the top of this draft. I saw somebody join, and they thought they missed the show. Okay, so Brian Parker at 126. We weren't that far apart on him. Travis Burke, the tackle from Memphis, is fascinating to me because I saw starter potential, but, you know, obviously I'll pull up my notes on him.
I have him in my top 100.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. I think
Because he plays with a lot of really good power.
And he's huge.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
6'9",
yeah.
325. He's got long arms. I think he's not very explosive in his pass sets, and he's kind of learning how to use his length when he gets beat to recover. But an NFL coach will see him and be like, I could fix everything that's lacking right now and get a starter out of him. So I think the NFL will really like him. This is kind of an interesting group because there's some guys here like a Genesis Smith that I think are going to be much higher for people that just value what he does in coverage, but the tackle, he's not going to be able to get on the field unless he cleans up the tackling. We've had this combo.
Where do I have him? Is he outside of my? I think he's outside of my top 150.
Okay, I'm not surprised. We've had the Genesis Smith combo.
Yeah. He's 169 for me.
Deny Dennis Sutton. I didn't think it was this wild, but I saw it because he wasn't in my I wrote up the top 15 edge rushers for NBC, and I think he's 16 for me, so he wasn't even in the article. Like, he plays high. He doesn't have much of a counter rush plan. Obviously, Penn State, you get caught in the bias of expecting these cyborg athletes. I didn't really see it, Trev. Like, he's at 112 where I think he can play in a rotational role. But in this loaded edge class, he got lost in the shuffle for sure.
He's 159 for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that he's another player who's there's a lot of players who are athletes, but I think that we say all the time, you've got to see it, man. I mean,
That's
like,
right.
you have to see the athleticism. If we watch these guys at the combine and they're doing, freaky things when it comes to, broad jumps and vertical jumps, settle down, everybody in the chat. When you've got, these crazy, like, athletic performances from these guys, they have to translate that to the field. And if we don't see it on the field, then I don't really care. I think that people who go, all out and they're like, oh, it's the underwear Olympics, the combine doesn't matter, all that kind of stuff. I think that's always taking it too far, and that's being a little bit more harsh than it should be for the exercise of the combine. But I think that there definitely is something to, if you don't see those traits when they're actually out there on the field and on the tape, then to me it just doesn't matter. And unfortunately for Dennis Sutton, he was one of those players that was there. I like that you have Logan Taylor in here from Boston College. I get him in there as well. Oh, Deion Burks at 127.
That's the one that crushes you. Come on, this is the most on-brand group for me of all time. What do I like at corner, and what do I not like at wide receiver? I typically, and it's funny because I just went how I have Kennedy in my top 100, but typically like massive corners, and I typically do not like small receivers. Ephesians Prysock is in this group at corner, probably higher than where most people see him. Julian Neal is in this group, although people like Neal, I think, a lot. Burks is just, man, there's just not a ton of high-end receivers in the NFL that play at that size, and the ones that do were pretty consistently special across college. We'll get there when we get to the ranking for you. We'll talk about them.
So speaking of that, you have David Igmanosin, the corner from Ohio State, at 129. I had him floating outside of my top 100 for a really long time, and then I kept having people being like, no. I mean, like, look, he's got the traits, and I decided to give him a little bit more benefit of the doubt because I felt as though he did improve on not holding and getting as grabby this past season, but it's still, I mean, he still has to get better. He still has to get a lot better.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's crazy that you have him at 129 here.
I remember we had Ohio State, Minnesota on Big Ten Saturday for NBC, and there was a couple he just didn't call. And I'm like, he's still doing it, but he is talented. He's big, he's physical. Like, there's something to coach up there. But yeah, the penalties are definitely an issue. I agree with you. It got better this year than 2024. Man, if I'm a team with the way this class is set up, I have to take a linebacker on day 3. I have to treat it like running back and just see if I get something.
Sure, there's a lot of good linebackers.
Like, Bryce Betcher plays like an absolute lunatic.
Yep.
Elarms Orr from TCU is a
part of the CCU. Do you know what that is?
No.
Him and Dylan Thieneman, the Caucasian Collision Unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They either made shirts or did a podcast together?
Somebody made shirts of it. I've seen shirts somewhere.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Elarms Orr. I liked both TCU linebackers.
I wanted to really like Elarms Orr.
Yeah.
Because
what was it?
There's just times where he just doesn't know where the ball is going.
Oh, no, he's a step late, like a ton. Once again, these guys all have something that is a limitation, and you hope it just clicks in your scheme or development, because Justin Jefferson at 124 on this list. I've said it before. Maybe it's a hot take.
The wide receiver?
Yeah, not the wide receiver, the Alabama linebacker. I liked him better than his teammate Deontay Lawson. And I know that's a hot take, but when you have that kind of explosiveness and speed, there might be a place for you in the right scheme to run and chase free at the next level. Where, once again, like, if you're just take a day 3 linebacker in this draft, it's got depth, this group. And I think it's got good developmental depth as well.
Yeah. Some players that you're a little bit higher on sort of in this group to shout out that maybe we didn't yet. Because I think we've picked out the guys that you're lower on, but anybody that you mentioned Justin Jefferson. I think that he's definitely one. He counts there. But, you got Kevin Coleman in your top 120. Kevin Coleman Jr. from
just
Missouri.
Gets open, man. Like, at some point, you got to value guys that get open. And there's going to be a guy in my next group that I think is even better than him at it. I know you really, I don't want to say talked me into this player, but you opened my eyes to this player. You and I are just higher on Albert Regis.
Yeah, we should be.
I'm seeing 179 on consensus.
No.
Albert Regis is an NFL level run defender. NFL caliber run defender. If I can get an NFL caliber run defender in round 4 or 5, I'm doing that every single draft.
And from what I have heard, like, workhorse type of a player, high work ethic, elite motor, great teammate, dirty work type of a player. Yeah. So everything that I've heard about Albert Regis makes me just go, you know what? In this class, give me him a little bit earlier. So obviously we'll talk about his name a little bit earlier on my list. Let's see my 130 to 111 here. Who stands out a lot here for you right off the bat? I have Dalen Everett. I mentioned it. 121.
Couple similar here. We have Betcher in this group together. We have Julian Neal in this group together.
Yep.
You like Thad Dixon a lot.
I do.
I have him a lot lower than you, but he was one of my favorite corner dart throws on day 3. Like, just the physicality.
I just really liked the Washington stuff from his 2024 tape. Felt like he was a great man coverage type of a corner. I liked his TCU game that UNC played at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And then he was kind of banged up the rest of the year, and he didn't play super well. But, man, this is a player who they played him in shadow coverage. I mean, he's following the best wide receiver on the team all over the field. And he did that at Washington a little bit. He did that at UNC this past season. So I'm kind of believing that the 2024 is better than the 2025. There's another player that we'll talk about in a minute with Kamari Ramsey that I'm sort of choosing just to believe the 2024 a little bit more. I think I'm just lower on the safety class overall. Like, I got Zakee Wheatley at 122. And I just think that just overall feels like the safety group. I see a lot of these safety, like Genesis Smith, I mentioned, I got him outside of my top 150. Feels like there's a lot of safeties that are around the top 100 in people's top 100. And I'm lower on this safety class than I feel like a lot of other people are. I have
we have Payne almost the same. I have him 107. You have him 112.
Okay. Yeah, so he's coming up next. I think that VJ Payne might be an outside corner in the NFL. I really do.
Totally agree.
I really do. I don't love VJ Payne's instincts in space at safety, but this dude can move. I mean, elite combine type of a player, great explosiveness. He's got the arm length. He's got the build to be able to play corner and play it really well. So I'm a big fan of his. You've got Ephesians Prysock. Speaking of that, at 118, I've actually got him in my top 100. I'm a pretty big fan of him. Some other players that are kind of
high for us. I want to see where he is on the board. Okay, so he's 142 on consensus. So you and I are higher on Prysock.
Yeah, definitely going to be higher on him. Let's see. I got Demetrius Crownover from Texas A&M. I can't get that Senior Bowl performance out of my head, man. I really did not like a lot of the tape. And then he goes to the Senior Bowl, and he was awesome at the Senior Bowl. And so I go, you know what? The build that you have, how you used to play tight end, yeah, I would take a flyer on that player in the 4th round. So I got him in that range.
Malachi Fields at 113 is lower than most, I feel like.
I'm lower on Eli Raridan as well. I got him 129.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm lower on him, a little bit lower on Billy Shrouds, who I think is a fine player. But again, we're just kind of talking 4th round here for me.
You know what's funny? You say lower on Raridan. He's 135 on consensus.
Okay.
I think people are just like probably, hypnotized from listening to this show. And I'm like, he's a top 100 pick. I just scream it into the clouds every day.
There's what's the show? Is it from Succession? I can't remember what it is, but there's the quote where the guy's like, I'll tweet, the markets will move, and that'll be that. And that's you. That's you here on this show. I'll talk about Eli Raridan, but the markets will move, and that'll be that.
It hasn't worked. It did move up a little bit. I love that you have Will Kazmarek at 115 because this is the classic.
The blocking boys.
People don't care in college as much. I have him 106, so we have him almost the exact same. Man, when you're a true Y tight end and you've been asked to do true Y things in the freaking Big Ten, where there's a lot of big bully teams, that's going to carry over to the next level. I really, really liked him. I was a little late to getting around to him.
Me too.
Stacking him. And then when I was done watching all the tape, I was like, God, I get why he was on the field as much as he was.
Yep, I think he's a really good football player. I like Jager Burton, the offensive center from offensive center. Sound like a noob. Jager Burton, the center from Kentucky. Reading and
Jager
talking
Burton
is hard
checking
first.
in, offensive center.
Offensive center, sir.
What do you play?
Somebody
Burton,
stuffed me in
offensive
a
center.
locker. I think that he's built the way that a center guard flexible type of player can be. I like him as a zone blocking center, but again, I think that he has got the strength, the movement skills, the overall frame to be able to play guard as well. I like Jude Bowery here in the top 120. I like him as a 4th round pick, sort of a flyer, steady Eddie type of offensive tackle. Again, probably for more of a zone blocking scheme. Caleb Proctor, I got him at 114. So, I got the bet with John Ledyard at 84.5 because he thinks Caleb Proctor is going higher than 84.5 from the 7th round.
Josh Norris was on this too on the stream. You
I
might
know.
Okay, I didn't remember if you stepped away for a moment during that one. But yes, all our guests are like warning us, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just not in the same universe.
I think Jeremiah put out his top 100, and I think Caleb Proctor is somewhat close to 84, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
But Dane in the Beast has him at like 135 or something around that range. So
I had him 160. I get it. I see it. I know the LSU game is probably making him millions of dollars as it should.
Yeah.
It's just, it goes back to the Grayson Halton combo a little bit, in my opinion.
Do you have Emmett Johnson further higher in this?
A little bit, yeah. Where
Okay,
did I
all
end
right.
up with Emmett? It's close enough that we probably have the combo now. Oh no,
Okay.
he made it in the 80s for me. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think he's a very shifty player. I think he's a very quick player. I like all of that, but I didn't see him. So I think he lacks the long speed.
Definitely.
And then when you get players who are quick in a phone booth, I kind of need you also be elite when it comes to that contact balance and like running through tackles. Like, for example, the reason why I liked Kyron Williams is because didn't have the long speed, but he was quick and he's really strong, really great core strength, really great balance. Bucky Irving, same way. You're a make you miss in a phone booth type of a back. I don't care about your long speed because I know that you could bounce off tackles. I'm not convinced that's the case with Emmett Johnson. Love the feet, love the footwork. I think he's super quick. I think he can make you miss when he's in space. But if you don't have the long speed, and I don't love that you're going to be able to bounce off of tackles all the time at the NFL, it's hard for me to value that super highly.
No, I totally get it. He's just not going to be for everyone. And what helps him is this running back class is very, very shallow. I think he's the type of guy that can maybe catch you 40 passes a year if you really needed him to. Like, I love the route tree. He's got good tracking. He's better in space, but you got to use him in that way. You can't just have him in the backfield like, hey, here's 15 touches, straight handoffs today up the middle.
Yep. So, okay, let's move on to the next group.
Yeah.
Getting into the top 100s now. I think we're starting to get into the third round grades, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're digging into the third round grades. You get the cutoff here. Ooh, who stands out to me? Look at you getting Cyrus Allen in here.
There's the guy I was talking about when I said Kevin Coleman separates, and that's why he's here. And there's a guy better than him.
Look at you.
Cyrus Allen gets open. He gets open a lot, and he gets open in the red zone a lot.
I was a coward. I got him right outside my top 50, but look, I'm glad that you got him in here. So
another guy like Renee Conga. How do we not get this guy to the NFL Combine, man? Like, what are we doing? Do we need help out there? We'll consult.
And it's not like I don't really know how he did not get a combine invite, because it's not like he was under the radar. He led Cincinnati.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, he led Cincinnati in receiving. He was at the Senior Bowl. He was a standout at the Senior Bowl.
He was good at the Senior Bowl.
And he didn't get a combine invite. I like it. I like you know, with him right outside of this top 100 range. Good for you. Good for you.
You see Kasmerick there. Chandler Rivers, just very sticky, smaller corner, but once again, his ability to mirror. Nussmeier, where'd you have him, Trev, when all of this was said and done?
Right at 100.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You like him so much more than me. I have him 101.
One spot higher. Yeah,
oh,
you're an absolute hater.
Yep,
you're an absolute hater.
I wrote him off. Yeah, a couple interesting players here that are kind of stuck in weird, like Romello Height. DPR, interesting one, but a total designated pass rusher. Justin Jolie, more of just that pass-catching tight end. There's a lot of Tim Keenan, just a 2-down, 2-gapping run stuffer. This is role player central right here. We talked about Kasmerick, Y tight end, blocking tight end. Bryce Lance, developmental deep threat. Cage Casey made it for me here because he's such a good technician. I think he could survive as a swing tackle on a roster. I'm sure some teams will really like him at guard instead. But I know he was kind of hot and cold at the Senior Bowl. I'm pretty sure it was. But he's a good technician. I like big corners. Takario Davis makes it right at 98. It's Takario Davis, man. I know he got banged up, but you
got him and Malik Muhammad in here, and I'm lower on both of those guys. But
yeah, Muhammad, I see why you are. I mean, it's kind of like but Takario Davis, the man coverage film in Arizona is good. He looks good in zone at Washington. Just got to keep him healthy. I think that might round out this group. I liked Farmer, the guard from Kentucky, quite a bit. I think he has a chance to start.
I'm way higher on Deshaun Stribling and Jalen Kilgore than you. Those are the two.
Kilgore, I'm not going to lie. He was one of the most disappointing players I watched throughout this entire cycle. Like, when I was seeing him in top 50s months ago, I was like, okay, this guy's big. He obviously plays the nickel. He's asked to do a lot of things. He's really young. I think he just turned 21. He's a good athlete. He's explosive. I did not like his tape.
Look, you don't have any imagination, no creativity.
Nope.
I get it.
No family members that went to South Carolina.
You don't want to believe. Yeah. No legal ties to the program. I get it. I've been there before. I'm not there now, but I've been there.
You're
before.
reformed.
I like you getting Chandler Rivers in here. You're a little higher on Katron Allen than I am, but I think that if we were to describe this player, we would describe him exactly the same. So let's reveal my next 20 here, because we'll see sort of some of the names that are similar. So I think I'm a little bit lower on Logan Jones than most people. I feel like his hype train, I mean, Brett Coleman on the 7-round mock took him 60th overall.
And Josh Norris wanted him right after.
Right.
Josh
And
logged on. He's like, how do I get Logan Jones? Like, brother, he's gone.
look, man, I like Logan Jones, but I think he is a zone blocking scheme only type of a center. And I think he's good. I just don't think that he brings any sort of like he's a good athlete, but I don't think he brings any sort of like crazy rare measurables. He doesn't have a ton of that scheme versatility to him. Again, I think he's got to be a center who's starting in those, mid and outside zone based run offenses. So I like this player. I've been like, whoa, okay. I feel like we're getting carried away a little bit here with him, in the top 60, top 70. But where do you have Logan Jones?
Logan Jones, I'll tell you in 1 second. The player I was just going to bring up with that is Oscar Delp. Logan Jones, I have 68th.
So you have him right there.
Starting center, great in zone,
right.
Good athlete, battle tested.
All right.
Delp is the one, Trev, that every time I log on, someone's put Oscar Delp 10 spots higher.
Hey, tight end 2 in summer scouting in 2024, baby. People don't forget. People don't forget.
Because I see him in top 70 talk all the time. All the time. Yeah, but
so I was actually having this conversation with Marcus Whitman on the timeline because Marcus was like, "Hey, somebody convinced me to not have Oscar Delp as tight end 2 here." And
sure.
I said to
Marcus.
him,
No,
I said to him,
what do you need to know?
And I said to him, I was like, "Look, I've long wanted to believe in Oscar Delp and having him tight end 2 a couple of years ago. But I just find it really hard to believe that he's going to be more productive than Max Clare or Eli Stowers as like tight end 2 and tight end 3 when he never had more than 300 yards in a single season. And not only that, he was in an offense that was set up with Brock Bowers, who produced at that position. Like, he had the opportunity to step right in, and very clearly, like, Georgia just did not see him that way. And if you want to say, hey, Georgia misused him, like, they didn't believe in him enough, okay, we could say that. I have a real hard time saying that Kirby Smart doesn't know what he's talking about. They've done too much winning for me to take what's happened there and just go, nope, you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's valid to believe that guys can be better when they get out of their college environments and go to the NFL. But I have a hard time doing that with a lot of Georgia players because of how successful that program has been. So I like Oscar Delp. Clearly, I've got him at number 91. Yeah. You've got him at 99. But in terms of like him over Eli Stowers or Max Clare, like I cannot get there with him.
I mean, serious question. How many tight ends across 3 years of college football never made it to 300 yards, and you see in our top 100? It's like, clearly we actually like him.
We like this player
quite a bit. We are expecting him to overcome production outlier.
Yeah.
So I had Mike Washington at 90, and I see you have him at 99, which I would imagine you and I are going to be on the lower end of that. He is 60th on the consensus board. He might take the award this year for guy that the combine perception has lost reality of the tape perception. And he's solid. He's a third round, fourth round running back for us. Like, he's a solid player. I don't see him erase angles with that 40 time on game tape that you'd expect. I see more burst than long speed.
So when I look at him, I'm with you. I like his footwork. There are some really good reps in between the trenches. He's got 7 fumbles over the last 2 years. I think he's got some stiffness when it comes to being a one-cut back, so anything in like those zones rushing schemes.
Yes.
And he's got very low production as a receiver. So, I don't know, man. I just, if you can't bring a lot to the receiving game, if you've got fumble issues, if I don't think that you're a fluid athlete, I'm just not going to value you that high at the running back position. There's just too many running backs that come out every single year that could be that. Yeah, so that's why he's right around the top 100 for me.
I guess, sorry, the last thing I should read is just, let me get to it in a second. Stribling. I have Stribling at 96, which I thought was like pretty high, and then I woke up from my, being frozen in time and realized I fell way behind on Stribling.
Oh, the guy's Captain America now.
He really is.
I meant you, because you said because you said you woke up from a frozen.
Sure, I'll take
sleep
that.
or whatever. Yeah.
He's got size and speed. You see it after the catch. He's got quick feet off the line of scrimmage, but the lack of lateral agility to get open in the short and intermediate area to me was the number one thing I wrote down of like, that might be a little bit of an issue. I mean, dude, we're talking like if he's going to be a top 60 pick here.
Yeah, and I think he can be a top 60 pick, which we'll get to here in a little bit, but I think that's for vertical offenses. You know, like I think he is a vertical offense type of a wide receiver. I think his releases are really explosive off of press. I think he can get up into his top speed very, very quickly. I think he always is attacking the ball when he's in the air, and I think he's got good yards after catch stuff, as well as being a good blocker on the outside. So if you're going to ask him to do a lot of like, you know, underneath stuff, multi breaks in the routes, like sure, then I could understand like not loving that, but I'm projecting him in an offense that wants to push the ball deep down the field, and I think he's got a ton of value there.
Let me put you on the spot, and this might not be fair because I think there's going to be more questions than just football. Do you think he goes over Brazel?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I do.
Man,
I do.
I don't think you're wrong, but
I would take him over Brazel.
It's
pretty
wild
easily.
As a player, I would not. But I think there's more being weighed on boards where I think Stribling is going to go over Brazel.
Couple of guys that I'll shout out here that I have in this range that I'm a little bit higher on. Like I said with Kamari Ramsey, who's 103 for me. I believe in his true safety tape rather than the slot tape that they played him at USC this year. I just did not think he was a good slot defender, but I really liked the previous year, how he was able to see the field when they let him operate a little bit more in space. I'm a big Rayshawn Benny guy, the defensive lineman from Michigan, just a really strong run defender. Can play, I think, 3 technique for you. He can play 3-4 defensive end, and he can do a lot of different stuff for you. Hezekiah Massis, to me, at 96, he's the cornerback out of Cal. I think he's got phenomenal instincts, great eyes, loves to bait quarterbacks into throws, great technique when it comes to off-coverage stuff. He's not super explosive. There was a point where I had him like in the 70s on my big board, and I was like, I love this dude a lot. But the lack of explosiveness that he showed at the combine, I do think that shows on film, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be a little bit tougher for him to overcome even at the pro level. So ton of ball skills this past season, or ton of ball production, I should say, with his ball skills this past season. Love him for those off coverage defenses, but I can understand that the lack of explosiveness could show up for him. I got Trey Zune, the offensive lineman from Texas A&M, at 94. You got him higher? Where do you have him?
Let me see. I liked the center class a lot, by the way. I had him 151, so he's the player that just missed the show today.
Okay. I think he is super versatile, man. I think he can start at guard. I think he can start at center for you. Elite pass blocking grade this past season at Texas A&M. I'm a big fan of Trey Zune. I think he's good.
One thing I'll say to put a bow on the Masses conversation, I know the chat really loved him as well. He's definitely like a big favorite of sleepers. Mm-hmm. Man, he's got the penalty machine problem that you're talking about. Like that initial explosiveness, if he's beat by a higher end athlete, he just latches on like Igbinosin.
Who is this?
Hezekiah Masses.
Oh, Masses, right. Yeah,
and I'm just like, man, when you step up against better talent, like what's that going to look like? So that was...
Yeah. Anybody that runs a lot of press man probably is not going to love him, which I understand. Somebody mentioned that I'm lower on Ted Hurst. I have Ted Hurst 107, and then I think I had like Malachi Fields in my last group as well, like 114 or something like that. I think these guys are fine. I just think that they're 4th round picks. I thought Ted Hurst would have dominated the Senior Bowl a lot more with how much he dominated his tape at Georgia State, and that gives me a little bit of pause that he's just going to be able to step into the NFL and really achieve those levels that we saw with him dominating that lower level of competition. So definitely somebody who's got great athleticism, I should say, with his size. And I think 3rd, 4th round totally makes sense. Like if you told me a team took Ted Hurst in the late 80s, early 90s, you'd be like, all right, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's not that far from where I have these guys ranked, but I'm just a little bit lower on him because I thought that he was going to dominate the Senior Bowl a little bit more when he was there.
He'll be in my next group, but he's a developmental player, big step up in competition, but man, the tools are tantalizing for sure.
Somebody in the chat said that they think Markel Bell gets picked in the 2nd round.
Would not be floored. I think I have him in the next group. Where do I have Markel Bell? I liked him a lot. I have him 76th overall. When you're just that big, you get away with things in pass pro that not a lot of humans can. That's the difference. And like I say it all the time, but Markel Bell got misrepresented when he lost one speed to power rep against Derek Moore. And that changed everybody's perception of him. And then you watch the tape of him, and I've said this before too, Derek Moore didn't correct me at the combine, but he made sure to emphasize, dude, he's a really good player, and he got the best of me later on in that day. Markel Bell he's definitely in that next tier. I liked him in Bowery as like, okay, I passed on the first couple of tiers of tackles, but these guys might start for me.
I do. I thought I liked Markel Bell, but now he's getting a lot of hype as, more of a top 100 pick type of a player. I just think it's hard. It's hard to move the way that you need to move to play offensive tackle in the NFL when you are that big. You have your advantages, but I think that you have your natural disadvantages as well. Like, I think how much he has to bend at his waist, to try to either reach guys or, keep his pad level low, I think it's just going to be an issue that's always going to exist with him. So I don't always love these types of players.
The arm length.
What?
36 and 3/8 inch
Yeah, I mean,
arms.
it's insane. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So
do you think he has custom door frames in his apartment? Or does he just swivel? He sidesteps in.
Yeah, he's got a sidestep around.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hits his head on the top.
Let's go 90 to 70. Who do you got here?
Not too many surprises, I think.
Oh, yeah, you got Billy Schrauth at 74.
Schrauth,
and Ted Hurst at 75.
When Schrauth is healthy, he is just as good as like the tier 2 guards, in my opinion. I think Pregnon and Basantis are up there in their own world. But when Schrauth was healthy, he's not that different to me than Keelan Rutledge. And I hear Keelan Rutledge top 30, 35 all the time now. So now injuries matter in the draft. So let's be fair. Like Schrauth has been hurt, and that's a problem. You already talked about Bud Clark's a little bit too much of a riverboat gambler, and I agree. Man, the splash plays are fun. They asked a lot of him, too, in that defense. I'm curious to see where you have Surratt, because you've always liked Surratt. Maybe a little higher than I have him, 79th.
Yeah, it's not a little higher, brother.
Okay, Surratt's much higher for you.
I have Elijah Surratt, 31.
Oh, my God. Okay, we'll get
there. Good ball player.
We'll get there for sure. I guess the one that people are... I see... Are people saying that Kyle Lewis at 86 is disrespectful?
Yeah, I have him 45.
Okay, I guess I'm low. I thought I liked him.
Yeah, you don't think he's draftable.
I really liked Kyle Lewis. He's a sub-package linebacker with great coverage skills.
Let's see, where is he on consensus? Where is Kyle Lewis?
It can't be that far off.
73.
I'm seeing 76, but yeah, you get the point.
Okay.
The one, forget Kyle Lewis, because I'm pretty close to consensus. The one that I'm not even in the zip code is Brandon Cisse.
Yeah, you're a lot lower on Cisse, which John Ledyard is too. Like Ledyard and I were talking about Cisse, and here's the thing with Brandon Cisse. Where is he on consensus? Where's Cisse?
44 is what I'm
like
saying.
40. Reef's got him at 42 on his consensus board as well. So I think that I have him at 45. So I'm higher on him, but I fully understand that Cisse is still. I mean, he needs development. His footwork is all over the place. He is very light as a tackler, despite a willingness and a fire to want to get in and run defense. He is still he's got a very slender build. He's not packing a big punch. So he'll kind of like, when I say set the edge, I mean he'll kind of just distract the kick out blocker where somebody else can fill in and actually make the tackle. But he's not going to really be able to set the edge the way that you're going to think like a linebacker potentially can, or a safety even. But the way I watch Cisse move, I think the twitchiness is special from him. So I'm willing, that trait at corner, I'm willing to bet on that in the second round. So I'm close to where consensus is, but I do understand why there's hesitancies from people with him.
He's a high-end athlete. He throws his weight around in the run. I just think he's a total project as a cover corner. Like almost starting from it's just a total project as a cover corner. This is some pass-catching tight ends. Stowers and Claire are in this group.
I think people will say you're a little bit lower on Stowers. Stowers is right around 59 on consensus.
Okay.
Is it just the blocking stuff? You're just like, hey,
he's a
can't
big wide receiver. Like, let's be.
I'm cool with that though.
No, he'll be a good one. If you have that room, that opening in your offense, he could be really like. I just look at Denver for him over and over again, and just be like, God,
it'd be great.
That would be the place.
The dream.
Who else is? I saw people saying I was low on Chris Bell. I mean, maybe. Besides the ACL tear, he just.
I have him at 62.
It's like shallow crosser. The film with Tyler Shuck, and to be fair, Shuck obviously throws the ball downfield much better than Miller Moss. Mm-hmm. Bell did more that year. This year was just like, hey, here's a shallow crosser, run by 3 people, and he does. He's a tank.
Yeah. And Miller Moss is their quarterback, and Miller doesn't have a great arm.
No. So that's not fair to put on Chris Bell, but I do think he's a little bit limited of a route tree at the moment right now. Kieran Crawford was a really nice surprise from Auburn. Late to football, started playing his senior year of high school, stand-up edge, pretty good first step. For his size, he does good things against the run. There's one more player in this group I wanted to touch on, I thought. Maybe not. No, I said Bowery and Bell as that tackles in this tier.
You're definitely really high on Jude Bowery, Billy Strouth. I think that like you're gonna be close to like the top percentile of people who have them up there. So those guys definitely seem like players that you're betting on.
Dunker, I thought in 84. 84. I'm seeing 63. I think Dunker could be a fine brawler of a guard. Mm-hmm. He's a little upright at times where I get a little worried about that.
I think he's got to get with a good O-line coach. Dalton Wasserman, my former co-host from the PFF NFL show, RIP, he was pointing this out to me at the Senior Bowl, how Dunker's footwork, it was like his toes were like pointed outward, and not in a way where like they had to be. It was almost like he was making himself flat-footed pre-snap. Like there was nothing where he could be on the balls of his feet or anything like that. And Dalton's like, I don't understand, because then that's how his feet were when he was a tackle. And then when they moved him into guard, it's like, okay, now he would put his feet sort of like pointing in the right direction. And it's not as much he's like flat-footed. Now he's really being able to, he's able to launch off of, his quad muscles, and he's really able to take off on the line of scrimmage. And Dalton was like, I don't know who's teaching him this, but maybe it's just a tackle thing. Like he feels like he has to have his like hips open for pass protection or something.
That feels like something's going on when he's asked to transition to a spot. He played obviously right tackle for Iowa, because Iowa offensive linemen are typically coached up at a pretty high level.
I know. So anyways, all that to say, he's a total projection moving into guard, but I like his trade to guard.
The one thing that worries me about the guard move, and once again, Dunker made my top 85. Like he's, his tape stands to tell its story. But I talked about the upright stance. He does throw his hands pretty wild and wide a lot. And when the edge rushers get under his under his chest and push him, at right tackle, he has the space to make up for it or adjust or recover. At guard, when you get hit by a D, you let a D tackle underneath you and inside, you're gonna go backwards into the quarterback's lap. So that he's not the silky guard, snap your fingers that some people want him to be. I think he could do it, but there's definitely a little risk there in just making the assumption he's going to be able to do it right away.
No, I totally agree with you. I'm willing to bet on the power that he plays with, especially in his zone blocking scheme. If you get him in an offense, I think he's a perfect Chargers player. If he's available for the Chargers, I don't know, at 55 or 84, wherever it was, if you have the opportunity to draft him at those spots, I think that he's a plug and play player for you in that scheme. I guess I shouldn't say he's a plug and play player, because I agree with you, there's development that's needed from him, but the way in which he plays, his athleticism and his grades behind zone blocking schemes, I think are great for offenses like that.
Mike McDaniel, you are now one of my elite employees.
You are now one of my elite employees, yes. Okay, let's see my 71 through 90. Okay, this is where Grayson Halton comes into the fold. I got him at 90. Bryce Lance sneaking in here at 89. Albert Regis, I have him at 87. Nice. Huge Albert Regis fan. Yep. I think this is where I'm talking about some of the guys I'm higher on before we get to some of the guys I'm clearly lower on. Chris McClellan, I have him at 81. I'm just a big fan of his. This is where I have Travis Burke in this group as well at 78.
He's your Markel Bell. Like Markel Bell is and Ballard are that tackle for me, and Burke is the tackle for you.
Yeah. I have Dominic Orange at 77, and Sauter in the chat's asking me to explain my hatred for
him and Lee Hunter. You threw off like the Lion King.
Dominic Orange's consensus 71.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I guess I just ride or die with the artist known as Big Citrus.
Hey, there we go. All right, okay. Yeah, I'm much lower on Lee Hunter. I think we all got way carried away with Lee Hunter.
You hate the fridge. That's sad to see.
Yeah, I just
hate defensive linemen. You would never draft one. You would never draft a defensive tackle.
I think this defensive tackle class is a lot worse than people are wanting to believe. And I think that a lot of times people do exercises where they go, okay, let me create rankings and big boards. And they go, well, I haven't put a defensive tackle in a while. Let me put this guy here to like evenly, position out a big board. I just don't think that the defensive tackle class is very good this year. I really don't. And that's why you see me really wanting to bet on guys like Albert Regis, guys like Chris McClellan, guys that are dependable here. I thought Dominic Orange, but I guess I'm a hater there on Dominic Orange, so maybe not. But Lee Hunter, I think he can be a good run defender because he was over the last couple of seasons, but I think we get carried away with the Oregon game. I think we get carried away with some of the one-on-one reps at the Senior Bowl. I think that lack of athleticism that showed up at the Combine is something that's kind of a constant in his tape. I mean, if you watch the Oregon game, you think he's a first rounder. If you watch the Baylor game, you think you're drafting him outside of the top 4 rounds. Like it's way too up and down for me, and that's why I just think consensus has gotten way too out of control with a player who I think is a solid player. If we were, that's why I've got him right here in this like 4th round, 3rd round, late 3rd, early 4th type of a grade for Lee Hunter. But I just think that there's way too much up and down, and I think there's way too much consistent lack of explosiveness from him, whether it's at the nose or the 3 technique spot.
I get it. I do agree he went too far at one point. I still value what he can do against the run and his size and strength. I think. So Chris Brazzell at 85, that's a big fall for you. I mean, he's in your 4th rounder bucket. But you are kind of willing to bet on Xavier Harris.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this in the defensive tackle episode. The most important thing about his scouting report is the DUI incident that he had and obviously the domestic violence incident that he had. Now, I could not find how either of those situations really ended because it was like, oh, here's what happened, and then never got suspended, stayed on the team, could not find anything. And I've like asked a lot of people like, hey, did you find out sort of what the conclusion was here? And I can't find it. So answering those questions, paramount, because like that is extremely important. We say all the time, you are drafting people as much as players. So that is the first and foremost thing. But I was super impressed with how he played this last season. And I kind of hated his tape before this season. And he is somebody who is build extremely well for especially those odd front defenses, those 3-4 defensive end roles. I thought he was quick to get across the face of guards and even offensive tackles when he had the opportunity to. I thought he played with really good burst, really good power. I thought his motor was good going into the 4th quarter. I was super impressed with how he played this season. He's kind of fluctuated weight up and down throughout his college career, but man, where he is right now, I think he played like an impactful NFL type of a player this past season. So yeah, that's why this is sort of a tape thing for me of why I've got him in the 70s.
Yeah, it's just tough for me to bet on a guy like that. But I get it. Not many are built like him, and he definitely played better this year. I would say I definitely like Jadarian Price and Antonio Williams better than you.
Have you always been super high on Antonio Williams?
So I actually really didn't like him that much. And I know he got hurt this year, but when he was healthy, with the limitations of their offense, like he reminded me a little bit of Marvin Mims Jr., honestly.
Maybe I'm just too focusing on a year where he was beat up a little bit, but
yeah.
I kind of just feel like there's a lot of receivers like him that come out all the time. And that's really why I have him right here at 79, because I'm like, hey, I recognize it. Like, this could play in the NFL, but I wouldn't say that he's got like difference-making traits that really allow him to stand out at a position that is always super deep every single year. And I take that into account as well.
I think he's a really good punt returner. He gets open in the short area. He's good after the catch-off screens. He'll be kind of that trick play monster, too, at the next level. Like, he threw 2 touchdowns over the last couple of years, and they're really good throws. I was like, damn. So he's just a great athlete out there. I liked, though, that he got the drop rate down this year. I mean, he dropped 8 passes in 24, and he only had a 1.7% drop rate this year. So I liked Antonio Williams as a slot number 3 wide receiver.
I'm lower on Anthony Hill Jr. I think a lot of times when we do mock drafts
that way too.
We'll be in the 40s and people will be like, "Hey, draft Anthony Hill Jr. here," and I'm like, well, we're not even close to where I would draft Anthony Hill Jr. I think he's a very fast football player, but I get worried about how physical he can be in between the tackles and in the box at the next level. So I understand the speed, but I did not see that physical profile from him enough. So I've got him at, I think 84 is where I had him there at that point.
I had him at 62. We can move to the next group, though, if we want.
All right.
With that being said. Yeah, we'll go to the next group here. So 51 through 70. I mean, this is where Eli Raridan is at 70. I'm really high on him. Connor Lew, you had it at 71. I have him at 61.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot before he got hurt. I think gap scheme center. I'll pull up my notes on him in a second here. He's got a wide.
Yeah, you got Raridan like 50 spots higher than me.
Raridan. I'm just high on Raridan.
Yeah,
both as a receiver and a blocker.
Oh, Malachi Fields too. You got him at 67.
Yeah, where is Fields in? With Malachi Fields, so he's 74th on consensus. So, yeah, a little higher on Fields. Plays above the rim, really good blocker, NFL body, which is really, really important. I just think he's somebody that'll help a team on the outside, on the perimeter, and they'll value that size. Sam Roush at 63. I think Roush is a really good tight end prospect, and it kind of confuses me why nobody ever paints that picture of him. They're just like, Sam Roush, take him in the 5th round. I don't know what you want the guy to do. He blocked his ass off at Stanford. He's good after the catch. He eats up targets in the middle of the field. So I ended up really high on Sam Roush. Man, Jayshon Barham and R. Mason Thomas, they're just explosive athletes, man.
Yeah, love it.
They as stand-up guys, and R. Mason even has some takeoff with his hand in the dirt. They can just scream off the edge and challenge and stress offensive tackles with that first step and speed. Big Citrus at 54. Another guy that was hurt this year. I love the 2024 tape. Lee Hunter at 52. We already talked about him. Skylar Bell, I'm just naturally very high on in this draft. He's a great athlete. He's been insanely productive. He aligns anywhere. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's got ball skills. One more guy in this group, and then we'll get to your rankings, that kind of gets lost in every conversation is Jake Golday, man. Jake Golday is big. He can run.
Got him around the same range.
Played inside and outside. We talked about him playing that overhang. I don't know, man. If I had a scheme that needs somebody that's 6'4", 240, but can also really, really giddy up, Golday that's what an NFL linebacker should look like.
Who is the other? Oh, Avion Terrell, I think, is the player that a lot of people are pointing out here. You got him at 66.
Yeah, and this is before the 40, by the way. I mean, the 40 didn't help. Let's make that clear.
Right.
He ran a 4.62 a couple times, said a hamstring. He's not fast on tape. Watch his man coverage snaps. He gets guys run away from him all the time. He's got good eyes. He's physical. He's an off coverage. He's got good instincts, click and close, everything in front of him. That's why he's at 66, which is that's a big pick in this draft. You got to be good at something to be 66. If you ask him to just line up and play man against somebody, which you have to do that at the NFL level, I don't think it goes well for him as much as the corners I have ahead of him.
Let's see my 51 through 70 that we have here. See where we're the same, see where we're a little bit different. I think we're pretty close on Josiah Trotter. I think that you had him a little bit lower, right? I think
Trotter I have at 60. You have at 70.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So we're right there. Yeah, he is in that group. I got Jeremy Bernard at 69. I see him. God, where is he on consensus? Jeremy Bernard from Alabama.
Probably
52.
pretty high.
He's
50
52
yeah, yep.
on consensus. I got him at 69. I think Jeremy Bernard is a solid player. I think he is a what you see is what you get, super reliable, high floor. And if that's what you're looking for, I could see it within that late second, early third round range.
You got to get the elephant in the room here.
What's the elephant?
You have Colton Hood at 66. I got to hear about this.
Yeah, and I have Keldrick Falk at 63 too.
Yeah, but nobody likes Keldrick Falk. Let's just make this. The internet hates Keldrick Falk. Every Cowboys fan sees him in a mock draft and threatens your family. Like it's just that's not hot take anymore. Keldrick Falk, if he's 175 on the consensus board, I'd believe you if you told me that.
Yeah. So Colton Hood. I mean, did you want to keep talking about Keldrick Falk? We can if you want.
No. Poor Keldrick Falk, man.
I think Keldrick Falk is big.
He's big, man.
I think he's big.
And he's 20.
I think he's big. No, he's 21. That was wrong.
Oh, no. We've been lied to.
Yeah.
All right,
I think Keldrick Falk is big. I think he is a nice 3-4 defensive end. I don't think he's ever going to be a great passer rusher for you in an even front as a 5 technique. I think he's good against the run. He's got good length, but I just don't see a special player. I think this is a second to third round pick type of a player. That's sort of where I'm at with it. I just don't. I find it so hard to believe, but everybody's just like, yeah, but look at the pass rusher that he could be, and it's like, do we really think it's going to get easier for him at the NFL level? It's not like he was like almost just kind of right there. I feel like he's got a lot of development as a pass rusher. So he is somebody who I've very clearly just said, I will let somebody else draft him. And if he goes off for him, I'll tip my hat, and that's okay. Colton Hood at 66. I think he's a much more frustrating prospect than I think a lot of people are willing to admit. I think that he's got good overall athleticism. I think he's got good overall size, although he's a little bit slender. I think he can get pushed around a little bit when he's in press coverage. Something that's very strange about him is I think he's got heavy feet sometimes in press coverage where he'll be up in press. I was talking with John Ledyard about this when he was going over it with him. There are times when it's like he doesn't hear when the ball is snapped. I guess. I don't know. Where the ball will get snapped, and then the wide receiver will be like 2 steps into his release, and Colton Hood is still just standing
waiting.
there, like staring at them. And I'm like, but get on the ball to your feet. Come on, what are we doing here? And then he'll get cooked off the line of scrimmage, and then he's got to be in recovery mode. So that happened way more than I was comfortable with for me to just say, hey, yeah, I think that his like timing and technique on the line of scrimmage and press was very hot and cold. And then when it came to that zone coverage stuff, I think he played more zone coverage this year, but just because you played more of something doesn't mean you were necessarily great at it. Like I heard somebody talk, I can't even remember who it was, talking about Colton Hood, and they're like, oh, like I think that he's totally versatile. He played more press man coverage the years before. This year he played a lot more off. And I was like, okay, hold on. He played more off coverage snaps. Did he play it well? Do you have faith for him to do this at all times? And so when I watched him, I think he's a good corner, but I would not value him the way that other people do. And maybe you're one of these people that would have him in the late first, early second round range. I think he's much more of a late second, early third round range corner that's got nice potential that I would love to draft and develop. But I don't want to stick him out there year one, week one, like you would for a guy who's getting drafted top 32. So I think there's certainly potential with him. I like the things that he brings to the table. I just thought it was way too up and down for where a lot of people have him projected.
I've seen him all over the place. I obviously like him a lot. I mean, to me, the size, the patience, I thought the situational awareness by down and distance it's clear he knew exactly what was going on. He's got speed to open up and run. I did write down in my negative notes, like late to react to routes. So it's like that did pop up at times.
He's younger, right? He's a redshirt sophomore,
and 1 year starter.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to bet on that and that's going to get better, I can understand that. I would be much more comfortable taking him in the later second round than anywhere close to like the back end of the first. But that's just me.
Yeah, I feel like Terrell and Hood are like each of our low corner rankings.
Yeah, because I have. Terrell's just in my top 50. We'll get to that in a second. I'm way higher on Jalen Kilgore. I'm just willing to bet on it, man. Like, I think that there's a lot of up and down, but the athlete that he is, and specifically when you can play the slot the way that he does. I mean, Keontae Scott's right above him at 51. Spoiler, Traden Stukes is a couple spots higher. He's in my top 50. When you can play the slot the way that these guys do, with the NFL being as predicated towards the slot as it is today, I mean, you need those chess pieces. Like, you need those guys who have the ability to take players away like that. So even though it's a bet on Kilgore, I'll bet on the ability that he has there. I got Deshaun Stribling at 55. I already talked about him for a vertical offense. I think he could be a starting outside receiver. I think he could win vertically from the slot as well. I love that we both have Jonah Coleman in the 50s. You've got him at 51. I got him at 57.
I was just going to go there. It's good to see Jonah Coleman believers.
I mean, he's just the most forgotten good player in this class, I think. I think that he's going to be a steady NFL offensive line or NFL running back for a long, long time. Where did you have Max Clare? I got him at 58. I still believe.
Clare, I thought, was in my last group.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, Clare was in my last group. I think we might have just skipped it. I'll pull it up in my sheet on here right now. But yes, Clare, obviously a tough evaluation. He's 78 for me. It didn't go like we thought at Ohio State, but there's still that kind of athlete in there where you saw like the Sam Laporta glimpses to me.
I still believe in it.
Yeah.
Sam Hecht, center 1 for me at 59 overall. Kieran Crawford, I have above his teammate, Keldrick Falk. I have Kieran Crawford at 60. I have Falk at 63. Chris Bell, I got at 62. I got the 2 Michigan guys. Derek Moore is 65. Jay Sean Barnum is 67. And then I have Deion Burks top 70. I'm willing to bet on it, man. I'm willing to bet on him.
That didn't surprise me. Hood surprised me.
He's just my guy. He's just
Stribling,
my guy
you definitely like a lot, but I feel like that's grown across the board. You've talked about Sam Hecht, Keldrick Falk at 63. Poor Keldrick Falk, man. He needs fans. Where do you have Abney? I have him 64th.
I think he was in my other group.
Okay. I didn't know if he was top 50 or not. We must have missed him.
No, I don't have him top 50. Where is he? He's 80. I have him 80. Okay. I like this player a lot. I think he's really good in off coverage. I just don't think he's fast.
He grabs on when he doesn't trust his legs.
Yeah, and I think there are too many times when he's going to not trust the legs.
He had some big matchups, though, in college.
He did. No.
What you like to see.
I wanted to be higher on him. When I have speed concerns for you at corner, it's really hard for me to overlook that.
No, that's my Avion Terrell argument in a nutshell.
Right.
Let's go to the next group.
Before we go to the next group,
hello,
we got to talk about our friends over at PickPool. Folks, you can do mock drafts all you want, but it doesn't really matter until now. Connor and I, very excited to introduce PickPool to you guys today. PickPool is a free-to-play app where you can submit your mock drafts and compete against fans for cash prizes on draft night. You can enter PickPool's contest by downloading the app for free on iOS and play on the web at pickpool.app, so pickpool.app. We'll be entering NFL and NFLSC top 10 pick in the mock draft contest here in a few moments, where you compete directly against us as the Addicts for some cash prizes. All the contests on PickPool are completely free to enter, and you can even create your own private contest with your friends. Again, that is pickpool.app for the web, or you just download the PickPool app on the Apple Store. PickPool, the pick is yours to win. Connor, let's do a very quick top 10 entry that we have here. So we've got, oh boy, look at that. We got 183 entries on the round 1 contest with all 32 picks in the NFLSC group. And then I think it was 173? Yeah, 173 on the top 10 contest. Just do a top 10 one real quick here.
Yep.
Let's run through it. Fernando Mendoza, obviously going number 1 overall. This is an accuracy thing here. So you're trying to get the player and the team and the draft spot correct here, because there's a couple of different ways where you can get some points. I'm assuming you're going to want Arvell Reese here at the Jets?
Yep, let's go Reese.
All right, Arvell Reese. Who do you think goes 3?
You buying the Jeremiah Love hype?
No, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
Then I'd go Bailey.
Okay, all right. David Bailey, number 3. Titans?
I would have went Bailey here, but he's gone.
But he is gone.
Styles?
I kind of like Styles. Kind of like it. All right, let's
Solid
do Styles.
Gets Fred Warner.
Yeah. Who are the Giants taking now?
Tyson.
Downs?
Or Downs.
At 5, who do you think? Because they got 10 too, you know?
Yeah, they're not going to get Tyson at 10. I believe that, but let's go Downs.
I think they go Downs. Yeah. Cleveland?
Tackle.
Tate? Oh, tackle.
I would rather them take Tate, but I think it'll be like a Freeling.
Okay,
or
let's go Freeland.
Fano.
Let's go Freeland.
Let's go
But yeah,
Freeling.
cause yeah. I like the dart throw here. I like getting a little.
We passed him, Chef. Yep, almost.
Oh, there it is. Jeremiah Love here.
Actually, that does make some sense.
Yeah, let's do Jeremiah Love with Washington.
Especially
let's
with
make
all
Matthew
the
Berry a
defenders
happy man.
gone. Yeah.
Saints.
Tyson.
Okay, all right. Tyson, the Saints. All right, we're getting.
That's why I
Tyson
said he
up,
wouldn't
we're
make
getting
it to the Giants at 10.
Ooh, Bane. Yeah, Bane to the Chiefs. Yeah, let's go.
Tate, right?
Probably.
You did like blink there for a second though.
What about O-line though? I think it's going to be O-line.
I know I'm tripped up about the
Let's go Maui
rumors
Noah.
about Maui Noah's back or whatever it is, and is that smoke? They need a guard badly.
Yeah.
Badly. And he'd be a long-term right tackle for them.
They
after
could go
Illuminor leaves.
Vega. They could go Vega. What do you think?
Let's go Maui Noah.
All right, Maui Noah. Okay.
There it is.
All right. There it is, folks. Boom. If you guys think that you could do better, prove it. Download the PickPool now. Join the NFLSC contest for your chance to compete directly with us and win some cash prizes while you are at it. Our PickPool contests and all the contests on PickPool are completely free to enter. You can download the PickPool app on iOS or head to pickpool.com/app to play on the web. If you're looking for a bigger challenge, you can also check out NFLSC's 32 pick contest on PickPool as well. PickPool, the pick is your win, folks. Let's get back into these top 50 here. All right, 50 to 41. What do we got?
All right, so
Oh, you think Blake Miller just is a CFL player?
no, my God, come on,
Dude, you're taking him to Canada.
Blake.
He doesn't even know the Canadian football rules.
Come
What
on,
are you doing
Blake.
to the kid?
We're doing a trip to Montreal. I was gonna say Traden Stukes is his
Oh, you were gonna-
well-deserved 44th.
Yeah, you were
ranking.
going to start off with the good.
Yeah, but we can go Blake Miller.
Yeah, kind of.
I like Blake Miller a lot. I do.
You
think
don't?
Maybe I like him just a normal amount, just a normal amount. He just has lapses in pass pro. He's not going to be that first round maybe caliber tackle. Just a solid right tackle, more of a brawler in the run game.
Somebody said Blake Maple Syrup Miller.
God. Oh, I've already been killed. I don't even know what to say. I didn't know Blake Miller at 45 would be,
you don't
would
have
be
to,
the breaking
like,
point.
I'll talk about Blake Miller plenty, but is the deficiency of why you aren't higher on him? Is it dealing with strength? Is it, you talked about the lapse in pass pro? Just it's kind of just, do you have strength concerns with him? What was it?
Well, he lunges sometimes, and then rushers are able to cross his face out on an island.
Okay. All right.
So that stood out to me. I thought against power, his balance was a problem. I thought he was kind of challenged by power with his balance. And
Totally.
His highs in the ground game are awesome. But he is on the ground a lot. It goes back to the balance and control.
Well, I thought you liked the ground game. Now he's on the ground too
Now
much.
it's just too much rolling around.
Well, okay, you make up your mind, Rogers. What do you mean?
So-
What do you
and there-
want to be
and-
doing here?
That's probably what the negatively graded run percentile, 37th percentile, is from, is the balance and control. And so, yeah, Blake Miller is an OT2 for you. So definitely I see why I was challenged.
I don't think he's OT2 anymore, but he's still in my top 20.
we've been
so we'll
lied
get to.
to.
We'll get to that. We'll get
Also,
to that.
Chris Johnson, we had this combo with Mina, but it's good to bring back up. It's hard to find bad film of Chris Johnson.
Sure.
It's also hard to find film of Chris Johnson in premium matchups. And
Sure.
it's always tough to balance that. You've made this point before, Trevor, like in a scheme that lets him play off a lot, I think he's going to do really well.
Yep.
If I'm taking a corner in the top 30, I want somebody that really, really is a man coverage disruptor. And that's just why Chris Johnson didn't make it into that caliber for me. But for some people, he is.
He's a little bit higher for me.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Go ahead. And then we'll get to my gripe.
No. Go ahead. What do you got?
McPounder, this is worse than Colton Hood, potentially. Because this is a guy that's near and dear to the show's heart.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? He's a nose tackle living in a world that doesn't two gap anymore.
You despise.
You have to get up the field. You have to get up the field.
You hate run defense. You would go out there and play with like 7 DBs on the field.
Yeah, 7-on-7's the purest form of the game.
And then you'd have probably just linebackers, maybe one stand-up edge.
That's what I do in Madden all the time. I don't
Nobody's
draft any
hand is in the
defensive
ground.
It's
no
just
one's
linebackers.
hand is in the ground.
No,
They're all just
why would
standing
you?
around like it's 7-on-7 or flag football.
Yeah, they call it an amoeba front. Why don't you learn ball?
Dude, I'm gonna buy you an Air Raid Boys shirt, and you are gonna wear it the next time we're together.
Does it come with Cliff Kingsbury sunglasses?
Yeah, it comes with a bib.
Look, I think 49 for what Caden McDonald brings to your team is totally fair. Having him in the top 50, 49, you are a mid to early second round pick type of a player. For somebody who will not rush the passer at all for you, who is just somebody who's going to take up space in the middle. Now, that is valuable. That's why I have him in my top 50. But I can't put a player who's not going to impact the passing game higher than right here.
You know what I like is that you put him at 49 out of fear of the top 50 accusations.
What do you mean?
If you put him at 51, you're like, they would have been on my ass.
He's got him outside of the top 50.
They would have been on my ass.
Hey, you got to be strategic with this, That's why Garrett Nussmeier was 100 for me. Oh, I got him in my top 100. In case he hits.
He's
in
going
case
to
he goes
unfollow
off.
the show. Oh, my God, this stinks.
Now I'm wondering where the hell you have him.
Dude, the McPounder is generational. Generational aura.
Sure.
We'll get there.
In the top 50. So why is he top 50? Dude, it's why he's a top 50 player for me.
Goodness
and if
gracious.
if he goes off and he's a Pro Bowler, guess what I'm going to say to people? I'm a top 50 player. Yeah, I saw it all the way. I saw it right there.
Yeah, he was in my top 50.
Yeah, he was in my top 50. You have Casey Concepcion at 47. I think that's going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, it is. People love him. It always makes people upset, which a day 2 wide receiver, it's a lot to like. I just think with Concepcion, he doesn't have the long speed I would hope for. He definitely gets open in the intermediate. Like, he can separate. There's no denying that. It's just when you're not overly fast and you don't finish as many plays as I'd hope for, and he's not small, but he's got shorter arms and he's a little slender sometimes. I just worry about him being, like, if people have Casey Concepcion in the top 30, you're believing that if not a number 1, he's going to be a high-end number 2. Like a high-end number 2. And I just don't view him as that at the NFL level.
Rule said Casey at 47. NHL draft?
That is...
You don't even think he's a football player.
That is up there. NHL draft. Yeah, this group is problematic for the PR of the show.
Oh,
like
for
Pounder
sure.
At 49, Casey at 47.
Look, everybody likes to say, "Oh, what a fun year for different big boards," until you see a different big board. And then all hell breaks loose.
Well, and I see people questioning my comment about his long speed. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, he ran by Brandon Cisse, but I didn't see him like as this. I'm talking long speed. I think his lateral agility and his ability to get open in the short and intermediate is really, really good. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's gonna burn by NFL corners all the time on deep balls at the next level. Am I off here? Like
I think I like his long
will?
speed. Yeah,
okay.
I like his long speed more than you.
Okay.
If I didn't, I'd have him in the same range though. But again, it's kind of like how you see the player. If you look at his speed and think that it's kind of just lateral and underneath, I can understand why you've got him in this range. I think he's got good vertical speed as well. That's why he's in the 20s for me.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that one if I'm wrong. I see a lot of people do not like that take. I just think that explosive, like immediate win down the field. I don't know how consistent that was to me. So that's okay.
You've got Peter Woods at 41. Strategically, I see you here because if he's bad in the NFL, you could say, "Hey, I didn't
in
have
my
him
top
as a top
40.
player. I didn't have him as a top 40
He's
player."
good, top 50,
Yeah.
top
And
45.
And if he's good, you'd be like, "Hey, I had him right there in the top 45." I never took him out of my top 45.
He is going to be extremely scheme specific.
Has to go to an attacking front, like you mentioned,
which is absolutely where, as an evaluator like this, you can tend to ride the fence, like admittedly, because the power is out of your hands. Like Eli Stowers, Kenyon Sadiq, Peter Woods, these guys all have to go to. We had the combo with Logan Jones before.
You're right.
These guys need to go to the right places. And as an evaluator, your life ain't always going to work out for you like that. And fortunately, guys find a second life in the NFL sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't work out when they go to the wrong spot early.
Trayden Stukes, we both love. We've got him in this group. I have him at 47. You got him at 44. He's just a hell of a football player, man. Somebody who could play in the slot for you. And I already talked about when I was, mentioning Jalen Kilgore, how valuable it is to have that potential of a player that can really erase wide receivers and just different passing options, I should say, in the slot. So Trayden Stukes, I think in both of our top 50s, I think that will be reflected in the NFL as well. I like Kyle Lewis a lot. I've got him at 43. I think that this is another player who you could envision as a nickel defender who's more of a linebacker nickel defender hybrid who can give you that flexibility to keep a lot of the same personnel on the field because you can move him out into space in that apex role. So I'm a big fan of his. I'm a little bit lower on Zion Young. I have Zion Young at 48. So he's in my top 50, but again, somebody who I love the mentality in which he plays, never shies away from being physical, loves contact. He's built the way that you want a true, heavy-handed 5-technique defensive end to be. I think there are times when he shows a good step, but in terms of, build-up speed up the arc, truly turning that into a good speed pass rush plan, I'm not always there with it outside of the long arm move and the speed to power. So I'm a little hesitant that he's going to be a consistent pass rusher in the NFL, but I do think that he has a really high floor and he's somebody who's going to be able to be a force on your defensive line. So I still like him in the top 50, but I just couldn't quite get there into that, late second and even early first round range with Zion Young, because I know a lot of other people are close to that.
All right, should we move on?
We shall indeed.
All right, let's go to the 40 to 31 range. This group, to me, obviously, I'm higher on Jadarian Price. Anyone that's watched an episode of this show knows that. I think he could be a number one running back at the next level and get more pass game on his plate. We saw Akis exactly the same. I think you had him at 42.
Right yep.
You're just not going to miss with Gabe Akis.
Good ball player.
Yeah, good football player, strong, hard worker, sets the edge, has enough power. People will probably be surprised because Ihanachor took off like a comet lately. Yeah, I know he's a great athlete. He has not been playing a lot of football. I totally understand. I am going to be the throw cold water on this, and I can't believe I have to do this when I have the guy in the top 40. This is the pendulum swing that happens all the time. Like, some people will have Emmanuel McNeil-Warren in the top 20. And I feel like I love the guy since September, and now I'm low on him at 37. These are the weird things with the draft. Ihanachor is an awesome athlete. He's got the size to play tackle. He's naturally strong. He's an easy mover in zone. Like, I did Sims's mock draft today, and Sims had him going to the Niners. And it's like, yeah, if Ihanachor goes at 27, 13 spots lower than this to the Niners, I'd be like, it's going to work there. They're going to develop him, his athleticism. He still is racking up penalties. He's still raw. He still is figuring out spacing and blocking on the move. He doesn't always land on his targets. He's still learning how to sustain run blocks. He's still learning how to keep his pad level in check. These are the things where we go with these guys, and all of a sudden they're now everybody's favorite top 20 player, and he can grow into being an awesome tackle, but he's still a early second round tackle to work on those things to me.
I agree with you.
Right.
100%. I have him 15th overall.
Right.
And I see the player exactly the way that you do. I just am choosing to think, with how little he has played the game so far, by getting into the NFL, getting better NFL coaching, and honestly just playing the game longer. You mentioned sustaining blocks. That's the biggest issue that I have with Max Giannicher. There are so many times where he will stop a rusher's first move cold, naturally, even without great technique, because that's how talented this dude is. And then good pass rushers will hit a counter on him. He'll be like, oh shoot, wait a second, I didn't know that was coming. So he's got to be better at maintaining those blocks, getting his hands up and inside to make sure that he is controlling these guys. But I think the ceiling is so high for this player.
I'm with you on that.
If you are sort of taking him at what he is and not guaranteeing that he's going to take the leap, I think the top 40 is totally reasonable. I am choosing to believe in it. That's why we're going to get to him a little bit later in my rankings and just talk about how much I believe in this player and how good he is.
I like the guards a lot. Like Basantis and Pregnon, plug and play, improve your offensive line, raise the floor of your offensive line. Halsey is the player, Trevor. If you ask me, who's the player maybe Jermod McCoy is the top answer, but that's not fun. That's obvious. Who's the player in the draft you think has the widest range of outcomes? Like I have no idea where AJ Halsey's going to go.
Me neither.
If he went like 80th, I'd be like, yeah, the NFL just didn't value him the way we did. I wouldn't be surprised. If he went, 44 to the Jets or a team that needs a safety in the 40s, it'd be like, Halsey's an awesome player.
Yep.
I'll gladly be a little higher on him than everyone else right now.
That's fair. Let's see my players in this range, because I think we got a lot of names that overlap here. I got Halsey at 32, so I'm right there with you.
Okay, yeah.
I think that he's a really good player. You had Chris Johnson a couple of spots lower. I've got him at 37, but we see him basically the same. Caleb Banks, we're right there in the same range. I got TJ Parker at 40. I wanted to be higher on TJ Parker. I just was like, man, is he gonna kind of get lost in the NFL, or are we really gonna recapture what was 2024 for him? And I hope we recapture 2024, but I got a little spooked there that he might just get kind of like not washed out in the NFL, but it's like, oh yeah, like TJ Parker's solid, but is he gonna be more than solid? I think that's something that I'm wondering if that's the case. The way that you are with Ionicher is the way I am with Freeland.
I was going to say, it's funny how you always have like another guy that's in that same tier.
That's the way that you talked about Ionicher is the same way that I talked about Monroe Freeling. I think that we are way over our skis on Monroe Freeling. And again, if you want to tell me the believing in the guy to get better and all that, all the things that I just said with Max Ionicher, but I am much more willing to bet on Max Ionicher because I felt like he was much more in control. I felt like he handled power better. I didn't think that pad level was an issue for Ionicher as much as it was with Freeling. I think Freeling in his natural frame, I feel like he's always losing the leverage battle. He's got a good first step, but man, when pass rushers really try to like make him move side to side, he can get pretty off balance as well. I felt like he was playing on the ground too much, especially when it came to like the power running game. So I've just got a lot more concerns with Monroe Freeling, it feels like, and I'm much more willing to bet on Max Ionicher than I am Monroe Freeling. Got Christian Miller at 35. He's my top defensive tackle in the draft. Cassius Howell sitting there at 34. I have Omar Cooper Jr. at 33. And this is sort of the same, like what you said about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I have him at 33, and everybody, and there's so many people that would see this and be like, wow, Trevor thinks he's undraftable. Holy cow. Like, how could you be this low on Omar Cooper Jr.? I think he's a hell of a player. I just think that we've gotten carried away with maybe the entire receiver class, but this is somebody who played most of his snaps in the slot, almost 80% of his snaps in the slot. And I think people are just like, oh, yeah, man, he's an elite outside-in type of wide receiver. And I go, maybe he will be. But he didn't really show that a ton when he was at Indiana. They just didn't ask him to do it a lot. So I feel as though he's still got a ways to go before he becomes this true versatile inside-out type of a receiver. I love the yards after catch ability. My pro comp for him was Greg Jennings, how he plays. I mean, think of how Greg Jennings played with Aaron Rodgers, where it was that in-breaking intermediate route run stuff where Rodgers would put it right on him in rhythm, and he'd be able to just go for forever. I feel like I see that same kind of production from Omar Cooper Jr. And then, yeah, I got Elijah Surratt at 31. I feel like I'm going to be the highest on Elijah Surratt for anybody. But this player has been so reliable, so dominant, it feels like, in all of his level of competition when he has played throughout college football. Does he have the best long speed? No. But he's a good back shoulder type of a wide receiver if you want to play him on the outside. But I really love him as a big slot. I can't remember who tweeted this out. I'm sorry I can't give you credit for it because I can't remember. But somebody was posting off-target throws to certain receivers this year. and Elijah Surratt's was the lowest of anybody at 5%. And that's a Fernando Mendoza stat, sure.
Right.
But it's also an Elijah Surratt stat that he is exactly where he needs to be at all times. And it makes it easy for the quarterback to have that type of chemistry. Because remember, Fernando Mendoza got there this past summer. It's not like he's been throwing the ball to Elijah Surratt for 3 years and they have that chemistry. Surratt's always where he needs to be. He always knows how to maximize option routes. He always knows how to attack different leverages. He's got great hands. He's got decent yards after catch, although, of course, it's not explosive. It's more about creating that separation. I think that when you give this guy two-way goes, he is going to have the opportunity to be a monster against zone coverage. Find those soft spots in the zone. Be incredibly productive. The high-end comp is Keenan Allen, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that he's going to exactly have the career that Keenan Allen had. But Allen was somebody who, coming into the NFL, had those speed concerns, but he won so much with savviness. And I feel like Surratt wins so much with savviness. I think the production is there for a reason for him, and I'm willing to continue to bet that he continues to produce in the NFL.
I had to warm up to Surratt, and I had him at 79, and I was like, I did warm up to him. Because for me, such a tough deal breaker more often than not is if you just don't get away from people in college, I just naturally it's really going to be tough for me to like you as a prospect. There's got to be some kind of outlier reason to bet on him. And his attention to detail and a lot of the things you said, Trevor, is why I have him in the top 80 and as a third rounder, like a good possession receiver in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how often he's ever going to be able to run away from people, and then he's not going to be going up against corners that he's that much bigger than a lot. So it is tricky. It's a tricky one where he's smart, he's reliable, he probably can carve out a really good number 2 role at the NFL level, but there is a little bit of him that has that outlier side of like,
for sure,
he's just right. And I didn't want to forget your Omar Cooper point. What had me go to the next level, I think, with, like where I'm ranking him and everything. I get your point about the slot. The thing that really helped me, though, like take him up into the higher tier than this was 2024, he played 432 snaps out wide, and he averaged over 21 yards a catch. It was just totally different usage that year in the offense. It was like this year, it's a good point. They had all this great talent. It was, okay, can we get you on a slant and a shallow crosser and the screen game, and you're like kind of a power slot. 2024, he played on the outside and was able to run by people down the field. So that helped me be like, okay, I think Omar Cooper could do all of this. But I get it. Like it's a good point of, hey, I really liked Omar Cooper, and then everybody drove 100 miles an hour past me on the highway. What happened?
Yeah, right. Let's go top 30s. Let's go 30 to 20. What do we got here? Let's see. Who stands out? I mean,
it's pretty chalky over here.
Oh, Malachi Lawrence at 24. Oh, can we see my list? Because I also got Malachi Lawrence in here, baby. 26 overall. Love that.
Yeah, there's not really... I know it's not that fun. There's nothing really wild to discuss here. I mean, Howell, we know, can get after the passer. He's not going to be a big edge setter. I've really warmed up to Messidor over the months for what he is today. Kristen Miller, like, I just love the way he plays. He plays hard. He's strong. He does make a lot of disruptive plays, even if he doesn't fill the stat sheet all the time. Mm-hmm. Malachi Lawrence, I think for both of us, Trevor, I have him 24, you have him 26. We're just betting on the pass rush upside.
Yep. And he wins in a variety of different ways. He's got a great first step. He's explosive. He's got a lot of different pass rush moves. He's not going to be the best for you when it comes to run defense. But, man, I think this guy can get off the ball, and he's good. You had Jacob Rodriguez in the mid-40s. I've got him at 28. I'm running out of reasons why I shouldn't consider him in the first round, other than just, like, overall size for a linebacker.
Just not that big. Yeah.
Right, and I get it, but he was just such a playmaker. I'm kind of willing to bet on it. I've got Kenyon Sadiq at 29.
I don't find that wild.
I've got a second round grade on Sadiq, and the reason why is just because when I look at him as a blocker, I think that he's a good effort blocker. I think he'll give you all he's got. He's not going to shy away from blocking, but his shorter arms and his lack of overall weight, you're not going to be able to put him one-on-one against NFL defensive ends. So don't sit here and think, oh, okay, we're going to attach him to the line of scrimmage and we've got a sixth offensive lineman out here. I don't think that's the case with Sadiq. It certainly isn't right now. As a wingback blocker, as somebody who could be a split zone blocker for you, as a tight end too, okay, I like that, but how high are you taking that? Especially because now, if you don't believe that he's a dominant blocker, now we've got to rely on his receiving ability. And he's an unreal athlete, a truly special athlete, but he wasn't involved a ton in Oregon's passing attack. And do we think that's just going to get better at a higher volume when he gets to the NFL? Maybe it does. I'm just a little bit more hesitant on it. So I've got him more in that fringe, late first, early second round grade. And obviously you can see from film, I gave him a second round grade as a player.
I'm very curious to see where you end up having Caden Proctor. I have him 25th.
Okay.
And then we obviously have Denzel Boston almost side by side. You have him 21. I have 22. I don't know why nobody...
Good player.
He's another Keldrick Falk. Nobody wants him picked in the mock draft. He's not Keon Coleman, if I see that one more time.
No, he's not.
I don't even know, man. Like, it's tough to try to sell Denzel Boston, and I hope he ends up being a really good pro because... it's just bizarre that nobody likes him. We can keep it moving.
I like Chase Bisontis a lot. I got him at 25.
Yeah, I mean, Bisontis has a little... he's not as good as Gray Zabel, but he has that feel of, like, I know what I'm getting. He's going to really help my line. He can play right away.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing is I have D'Angelo Pons, a top 25 player in the class. I'm willing to bet on him, man. Yeah. Attitude for corners, explosiveness. It's all there for him. He doesn't have the height. I get it. Are there going to be some jump ball situations that he loses? Are some bigger wide receivers going to give him a little bit more trouble at the line of scrimmage? Yes, they are. But you can put him in off-coverage situations there, and I think that he's great at that as well. He's not just a feisty press man corner. I think he can do it all, and he's got the athleticism to do it all. You look at the last 2 years, elite coverage grades for a reason. So I'm just a big fan of D'Angelo Pons. All right, let's go 20 to 10.
Drum roll, please. All right, now we get into the round one grades. I had 17.
Wait a second. Hold on. A week ago, I'm rigging a mock draft because I got Mansour Delane going 15th overall to the Buccaneers.
Okay.
And now you got him 13th overall on the big board.
That's right.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were clear.
Yeah, he's not making it to 15.
I just wanted to make it clear. I just wanted to make sure that the record showed that is what happened here.
Yeah.
Wow, you got Colton Hood at 20.
Yeah, man, it's still a round 2 grade. It's not that kind of class. I like Colton Hood a lot. I'm not going to shy away from that one. Same with Zion Young and Omar Cooper.
Wow.
Yeah. McPounder at 14 to redeem the pod.
McPounder
My God,
at 14!
Yeah, dude, he plays grown man football.
Oh, wow.
Grown man football.
What's he going to do on passing downs?
Push the pocket. Like a grown man.
Nah, he ain't gonna be out there.
Hey, at least he gets you to passing downs. You can't run the ball on first and second down, so now we have him in a 3rd and 8, while your flag football team is up 8-yard run.
Yeah, and we're up 77 to 33 because you're running the ball.
Run.
Man, 14.
Yeah, 14. Grown man football for the McPounder.
Brother, I respect you. I really do. I respect you for putting him there.
Thank you.
You got Zion Young.
I stay on brand. If anyone that watched our show last year, you're not surprised by either of us today.
Again, you're supposed to, right? Again, like I said, like 10 minutes ago, everybody wants different big boards until they see different big boards.
That's right.
Then they freak out
and then they go, you asshole.
No, this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of having my guys, the guys that will stand on the table for, the players that we have that we see a little bit more value for. You have Zion Young at 19 as well. So very clearly, like within this group, you like Caden McDonald a lot. You like Zion Young a lot. You like Colton Hood a lot. Those are sort of your guys here in this class.
I mean, think about all these guys. Colton Hood, physical corner. Zion Young, edge setter and power rusher. Omar Cooper Jr. runs through people with the ball in his hands. Jermon McCoy, I can't do the whole, it's going to be the Will Johnson thing again, it sounds like. I can't play that game, Trevor. I think he's an awesome player. I pray the guy's healthy. He's absolutely a top 20 player in this draft. Better than that when healthy. Sadiq, okay, I get there's questions there, but that kind of athlete and his demeanor as a blocker, Thienemann's range at safety, I'm buying. Like, that kind of range at safety can do wonders for the back end of your defense. We already did McPounder. And then it's a lot of chalk, right? Like Delane Tate and Venga Ioane. It's just, I feel really good about these guys for them to get round 1 grades.
All right, let's see 11 through 20 for me. So,
whoa.
Yeah, what do you want to talk
David
about first?
Bailey at 19. I had no idea you were in the non-believer
Correct.
club of David Bailey. I'm shocked by that.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
I think it's I don't think that it's crazy that people believe in David Bailey. I don't. I think it's crazy he's consensus top 3 player.
I think well, he's not top 3 for me. So I think
that's crazy to me.
There's fair questions with him. I get that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So David Bailey has a 2nd round grade for me. And the reason why is because I recognize that he has an elite first step. And I have a little category in my scouting sheet that has like, hey, does this player have a trump card? Like, is this so good at what he's doing that the rest kind of you look over? And the first step explosiveness from David Bailey is a trump card. So I get it. If you draft him and that first step explosiveness continues to be a head shoulders above players in the NFL, okay, he's going to be incredibly productive. But I think that his overall skill set is way closer to a designated pass rusher than, again, like people are willing to talk about. He can be a liability against the run. When he doesn't have the ability to slip a block and get into the backfield, when he goes straight up against a offensive tackle or an offensive guard and even some tight ends, I mean, he can get stonewalled and pushed off the line of scrimmage pretty easily. I don't think he has the bend that everybody says. I think when people talk about David Bailey, they go, oh man, elite first step, elite bend. And I'm like, you don't have to say these 2 traits back to back.
Yeah, they could be in a vacuum.
And I think they're absolutely in a vacuum. And I think that you saw that with David Bailey when he was running the hoop drill at the combine. And when he was, run through, like, they're trying to get him to truly bend, and he's instead flipping his hips. He's not really bending around the edges. He's flipping his hips really quick, and he's cornering that way. Now, it's a strategy to get to the quarterback, but a lot of times that's a strategy when you don't have that elite ankle flexion and elite bend. I think that when people sometimes see him do that dip move underneath offensive tackles, they go, wow, look at how he's bending.
Yeah,
if he's just going down and cornering, that's not really bending.
Sure.
So I look at a player that predominantly wins off of their first step explosiveness and not a lot of pass rush moves, can be a liability against the run, and then does not have that top tier flexibility and bend. And I go, okay, I'd love to draft you as a speed demon pass rusher at the back end of the 1st or the early 2nd round. I just think it's crazy that he has just become a consensus top 3 player in this class. I think he's got way more holes than people are willing to realize. And I would be more comfortable taking him back into the 1st round, early part of the 2nd round. I recognize the trump card, but I would let somebody else draft David Bailey. That's just kind of how I feel about him in his Texas Tech game.
So Maui Noah at 20, you obviously like a couple tackles better than him.
Yep.
I have Maui Noah in my next group, so I'll get to him there. You ended up closer to me on Lemon than I thought. Mm-hmm. I had Lemon, I think, 21, and you had Lemon 16.
He's a 1st round grade player for me.
That's true. The grades were different. Yep.
He's a 1st round grade player for me. To be honest with you, Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, and Mekhi Lemon are 3 different types of wide receivers. Right?
Extremely.
I mean, Jordan Tyson's going to play as a Z for you. He's going to be a great intermediate route runner for you. He's going to be a big catch type of a player for you. Carnell Tate's going to be a vertical player for you. He's going to be a contested catch guy for you. He's going to be a blocker for you as an X receiver, and he could be a move receiver as well. And Mekhi Lemon's going to be somebody who is a slot mostly type of a player, elite when it comes to the separation with 2-way goes, but he can win for you deep down the field as well, despite not having elite long speed. These are just 3 completely different wide receivers. And so when people ask, hey, who's your wide receiver 1? I'll bet on Jordan Tyson, but to be honest with you, it's totally scheme dependent on what team I'm drafting for. That's sort of my answer to who's wide receiver 1. I like all 3 of those guys.
Okay, so what else should we go through here? I mean, you've always loved Messidor. Ihanacho is probably the big riser.
Yep. So I love Ihanacho. I think that his ceiling is as high as any offensive tackle in this class. I think he probably, actually, I would go as far to say he has the highest ceiling of any offensive tackle in this class. I think Blake Miller is somebody who can start for a long, long time in the NFL at right tackle or left tackle. I think that right tackle is obviously easier for him with him starting 54 games there. And then Caden Proctor, I have him at 18. I have him firmly as a guard. I don't want to play him at tackle. Just put him.
So you
at guard.
like him as a guard, but
I like him a lot. He is a first round guard to me. I gave him a first round grade as a guard. I think that there are Carl Nicks type of plays from him and his size, his overall strength, how difficult he is to get around. I think that you just basically the big weakness with Caden Proctor is he doesn't really have the foot speed at all times that you love playing on an island at tackle. Just take that away. Go inside. I think his feet are plenty fast enough to be able to play guard. You just don't have to worry about those cross-face moves nearly as much and those stop and start type of things. So I like him a lot as a first-round guard, but I think he's a guard. Yep.
All right, let's get into the final group here, the top 10. You're going to have some surprises because you just had surprises in the last group, so something had to flip in that area. Mine is not really that. I mean, the top 10 is always the most boring because you guys have heard us talk about these players from the very beginning. Love and Downs are just so good at what they do. Mendoza, his growth this year was so fun to watch and a guy that I really warmed up to over time. Arvell Reese, I'm a believer, man. I think Arvell Reese is a great, and I mean great linebacker prospect that has all the tools to be a great 3-4 edge player. I think Bailey's going to get after the quarterback at the next level. I agree with some of your points, Trevor, for sure. And it's why I've been adamant that I want the Jets to take Reese, not Bailey, at 2. Jordan Tyson, it's been like this since last June, guys. Jordan Tyson has been my wide receiver 1. He has never left that spot. And it sounds like we might go full circle there because Jordan Tyson could be the first wide receiver drafted Thursday. Sonny Styles, I mean, if you listen to the Linebacker Show, this guy just flies around and creates chaos. I still really like Ruben Bain. He's a tweener. He's got short arms, but his power and leverage, and talk about bend, Trevor. Ruben Bain can bend. Spencer Fano, I want to see him get a real shot at tackle with the kind of athlete he is. And I love Maui Noah. I love Taliza Fuanga. I think Maui Noah is almost the same exact kind of player. Ooh. I think he'll be able to stick at right tackle. But if a Miami takes him, he's going to play right guard right away, and he's going to be really, really good. He's so strong. He's a people mover. He's a good athlete that can really pull and run. He's got the right mindset. I love his mindset of like, I don't care if they talk about guard or tackle with me. I'm playing one of the 5 spots.
Yep.
I'm a believer in that guy for sure.
Yeah, let's reveal my 1 to 10. I mean, about Maui Noah, I have him at 20. I don't love his feet as much as I love Talize Fuanga, so I'm a little bit lower on that, but somebody who I think could be absolutely a starter at guard or potentially at tackle in the NFL because he's got a lot of experience there. So
look at 1 and 2.
Yeah, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love. So we have the same top 2 players, just in a different order. I got Caleb Downs at number 1. I got Jeremiah Love at number 2. Ruben Bain Jr. is number 3 for me. I got Sonny Styles at 4. Arvell Reese at 5. Fernando Mendoza is at 6. Dylan Thieneman, I have as a top 8 player in this class. I think Dylan Thieneman is awesome. He's a little bit undersized, like for an overall safety, but he sure ain't undersized for a corner. And if you ever want to put him in slot situations, I feel like he's got the athleticism, the hip fluidity, the explosiveness, the ball skills to be able to do it. He's a great tackler from depth as well. He can play basically anywhere when it comes to that range, whether it's coverage range or run defense. I'm a big fan. I think Jermon McCoy, look, man, I don't know what to think of the knee injury. Everybody's like, oh, it's degenerative. Oh, he's not going to play in the pros very long. I don't know. Maybe he's a second rounder. Maybe what happens to him is the same thing that happened to Will Johnson. But all I know is that 2024 tape ruled. And that's all I really have to go off of because I'm not a doctor. I'm not talking to doctors that have, looked at his knee. If I was, picking for a team, maybe this conversation's different, but I think he's a hell of a player. I like Mansour Delane as well. I got him number 9 overall, and then Spencer Fano rounding out my top 10 there as well. I agree. I would love for Spencer Fano to get a shot at offensive tackle, but I think he is a long-term starter at all 5 spots on the offensive line, to be honest with you. I think that highly of that player.
Yeah, I mean, we could be talking about all-pro caliber Spencer Fano inside, whether that's center or guard. And yeah, McCoy's the tricky one, man. If McCoy ends up being Marshawn Lattimore, I wouldn't be shocked if McCoy, it just doesn't work out because he can't be on the field. It just happens, man. It's hard to quantify and predict when you're an analyst in this chair. But
the chat's saying, where's Diego Pavia? Diego Pavia is still in the film room with John Gruden. That's where he is. They're still just going over all sorts of Vanderbilt film.
Did you see him with Taylor Green?
Gruden? No.
Yeah. I saw a clip of him where he wanted to do a finger pistol Western Showdown.
Okay.
And he got Taylor Green first because Taylor Green thought they were going to back up all the way and then draw the pistols. And then Gruden, I can't even say it on the show in case there's kids watching today, but it's unhinged. It is so absurd. I don't even know where else to go. It's just insanity.
Now I gotta look up the clip.
Taylor Green stuck up because he handled the thing so well.
Okay, great.
So well. Yeah, it's nuts.
Future NFL tight end, Taylor Green.
It could be. Yeah.
He's just such a crazy athlete.
Yeah. If he fails at quarterback, he's going to get that chance. You're right.
I just don't think he's going to get a chance at quarterback enough. And eventually the time's going to come where it's like, dude, you're an NFL athlete. And so we'll see. We'll see what his career is, but crazy athlete for sure. Appreciate everybody watching. This was a ton of fun getting to our top 150s, getting to go through all these guys. We appreciate you guys rocking with us for the entire show. We saw more and more people join throughout the entire show. Normally, Connor will go live. Okay, we got a big audience and then sort of creeps down a little bit. But we kept getting more and more people that were interested, that wanted to watch the show as things went on. If you guys are new here, if you're catching the show for the first time, we would love for you to be subscribed to the program. Become part of the Addicts. Come back, hang out with us for the final mock draft episode that we got on Wednesday. The instant round 1 analysis that we'll have on this show, the draft grades after the draft, all of that great stuff. Once again, I will be doing Bleacher Reports round 1, 2, and 3 coverage on their YouTube channel this upcoming weekend for the draft. Connor, you will be doing.
Can I say it?
And what are you saying?
Yeah, it's time to promote it, right?
Yeah, look, it's Monday. Yeah,
I'm
gonna promote it. Yeah,
we haven't said it anywhere yet.
Yeah. Oh, so I did say it on a mailbag episode. Somebody asked this.
Perfect.
Somebody asked this.
All right, so it's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Me and Sims will be doing reaction videos night 1, but if you missed it, Trevor and I will be together.
Tell the people
on the Bleacher Report live show, covering every pick from round 2 to round 7. That is all night Friday.
I can't wait, baby.
All day Saturday. Friday, we will be with Lefko.
Dude, Lefko's got no idea what's about to happen.
I was on the phone with him for 2 hours the other night. He's ready now.
He's ready now. Good. That's good.
And then Saturday, I think it's just me and you, big dog.
It is just me and you on Saturday.
Saturday is wild, dude. It is crazy. It's going to be, I cannot wait to do these shows with you.
Brother, you said that you got scouting reports on 332 guys this year. New career high.
Specialty. Yeah, new career high. Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna be leaning on you.
No, you'll be. You've seen all these guys. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be. Dude, it'll be a great time. I want everybody to tune into all of that great stuff because it's going to be a ton of fun. The Bleacher Report shows again. Night 2 and night 3 are the ones that we're going to be on together, and we're super excited about that one. We have one more show that we're doing this week before the draft. It is on Wednesday. We will do our final predictive mock drafts. Now, Connor and I have 2 different final predictive mocks that we will be doing on this show because we have to submit them to the mock draft competition. And so we have to actually have 2 different ones that we'll be doing on this show. So it'll be a little bit of the same format that we did here with the big board where we're kind of going through and seeing where our opinions differ. We'll be giving you guys all the intel and inside information that we have at that point to get you ready for that last day.
One more
before
thing.
The NFL draft. Yes.
I see people asking, yes, we will be in person for the Bleacher Report show. It's not remote. We will be in New York City together in a studio. The second thing, if you haven't watched it before, typically you can watch it in the Bleacher Report app. You can watch it on HBO Max, and you can watch it on YouTube. So it's insanely easy to watch. You can watch it like you watch this show. You can watch it on your phone on the BR app. You can watch it on HBO Max.
Damn, I didn't even know it was going to be on HBO Max. They got to tell me this.
My roommate works on that side of things, so she was telling me.
She's a pretty cool roommate, so I know that. I know that she's very plugged into those things. So I would totally get it. We'll stick around for a little bit, read some of the super chats that you guys sent throughout the show here in the after the episode portion. But if you're not hanging out there, We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening. For the chef behind the scenes, producing all of it, which so many graphics here for this show, by the way. Can we get nonstop W's in the chat for the chef, as always? But just so many graphics here putting this together. The chef always is trying to do it better for you guys when it comes to our rankings and the round grades and all that kinds of stuff. So shout out to the chef. Shout out to Connor Rogers. For myself as well, thank you guys so much for watching the NFL Stock Exchange Show. See you guys next time.